Alright. Mic check, mic check. Are we live? Hello, people. Welcome to the fifth and probably final part of the Live Hero trio list streams. As per usual, you're joined by me, Harvey Kais, Milkazamo, and Mr. Arkundo. Alright, so as you may or may not know, we did get a new patch last night, I believe. The new story update. And also some changes for Astosis' guidance mechanic. You guys want to go over that real quick?
Yeah, so I guess based on the changes, it's now officially confirmed that the S2 triggered from Astosis' guidance does not count as the casted ally's own action turn, which I guess, like, to make it simple, if the skill if the skill 2 they cast has a clause that says during own action, that effect will not trigger from guidance, which cuts off a lot of the extra actions from, what is it? Denebra, LaH, and also some effects like Christus Monomasa and other units like that. So it is a pretty... Well, not a lot of units have it. It does cut off that kind of funny but also buggy interaction where they would get a bonus turn from units that had action extension on their S2. Except for units like Vulpecula, who still have that interaction because his skill 2 does not have that clause in his kit, so he's still unchanged and running around.
Yeah. So, rip Rokusei. I would say rip Sansan too, but to be honest, I think for most people, that extra action for him is kind of not too practical, since if you use his S3 twice, you'd be using like 26k view per turn, which is kind of a high bar.
Yeah, and his buff count would be lower after that first cast, so his S3 would be weaker in the next turn or in the next cast. The big loser here is Rokusei. Though. That's a huge loss, honestly. It's probably like one of the biggest winners from that interaction, and now it's gone.
Yeah, since guidance had like the bonus for the +1 buff duration for the challenge sim, Rokusei is going from 6 hits per turn to 4 hits. So he's losing like basically a third of his damage from this, which is crazy. Okay, let me review the chat real quick. What's cooking? Good looking. Hello, Zelgus. Is there a Malkadai plush for sale anywhere? Asking for a friend. Not for sale right now, but you could ask someone to make it for you. I won't say who though. Fried pork belly and rice. Oh, here we are. Hello, officer. Our show is on. Oh, it's pronounced Kais, not Keys. I was wondered. When is Zelgus hopping on the log crew? I mean, you might invite him to something after this. The elephant in the room. The new layout, you've squished your hack. Sorry, I'm merely a babe when it comes to law. I have much to learn. 07 Rokusei. 2 of the Astosis S3s is so expensive, why would you double cast that? It's actually really strong, but you do need to be aware of how much you spend. It's more viable in those teams where you're running like Festival Rudin or Anniversary Barrel, or even like Summer Kowalski. Does Senteti go down to A+ now, or do we think his skill 2 is bugged? His skill 2 is definitely bugged, but he did get impacted by the guidance change, where he doesn't get a free action anymore. So yeah, I do think his pull priority does go down pretty significantly. Not sure if it's enough to make him go down to A+ tier though, because I'm not entirely convinced that he's worse than like Isaribi's variant. But what do you two think?
I think he's fine being over Isaribi, to be honest.
Let's see where.
Isaribi's like very awkward with his like stuff. I think.
Let me check his stats actually.
Sanketsu is like a little more viable, you know, with his gimmick.
Milk sounds like an ant. Okay, I'll raise his volume up.
Oh.
I think Sanketsu. Let me check this multiplier before
I also think Arch is a bit more louder than usual, but I'm not sure what's going on there. I might tune him down a bit too.
They were both on 60. I guess. Yeah, just keep Santetsu. You can just keep Santetsu there. Being above Isaribi, I think, is a fair call. Whether he belongs in S tier or A+, it's like,
But yeah, the guidance bug where his S2 like consumes a buff now is pretty damning for his current run. So, but also like Anniversary Barrel is just like completely bugged in general, where his gauge is like actually unusable. So yeah, this is our Bug a Hero patch.
I know. Can't wait for our next stone next week. As they keep attempting to patch this mechanic over and over again.
This is our real gacha currency income, just from bug fixes.
Real. This is why the game should continue to be innovative, because there's always going to be a bug that needs to be tested and fixed on the next patch.
It's so funny when they fixed a bug and made more bugs. Everyone finds them day one. When are they employing you guys? Yeah, maybe when they open up QA positions. Still though, 2 Viastosis S3s are like 18k VP if not discounted. Really expensive. It is, yeah. If you don't run him with view passives, it is really hard to make use of double S3. Right, King Spaghetti Code moment. Yeah. Alright. Should we nudge Rokisei down at all? He's probably still A tier, but like, I don't know. I think his clears are a bit worse with his quote unquote best in slot partner now. So,
I mean, I think he was only up there because of Stosis, right? So yeah. It's fine to put him down.
You think a Loner's employee is lurking in our hashtag friend code channel?
Oh.
Have it here.
I don't want to think about that. Is he lower than Proki now? Is he?
Well,
how much damage is Rokisei's S2? Just like without
Which the first hit?
Yeah, just the first hit.
It deals 130.
Okay. That's crazy. He might actually be worse than Proki.
Damn, really? Oh.
Yeah. Because Proki's getting that hockey buff. And then his S2 is like doing 120 base, right? Yeah. Alright. I'll just move him down to below Proki. Maybe above Pub, though. Just because his weight clear is still better. Does the S plus tier change at all from this? I don't think
S
so,
plus
right?
tier, no.
Yeah.
I mean, Stosis is worse now, but in my head, this was always getting patched, so
I think it just kind of evens
nothing
out.
changed for me.
It just kind of evens out like how much strength he gives to already good units, because most people on the lower end aren't like too impacted by the guidance changes, which is good.
Hmm.
Why is you hack so wide? Yeah, I took out the skill set crop since I don't think anyone was really looking at it. So that's a put something to fill in the space there, and it just picks you hack. Pub can't enhance S1, and Rokisei can't cheap out S2 into S1. It's just a spelling. You were? Unfortunate. Hey, how it's beating it. Astosis is still the best support in the game in my mind. Yeah, he is, but the value ceiling is considerably lower. But as long as they don't have to keep designing S2s with Astosis in mind, it's I think it should be a win.
Mhm.
Reading comprehension disproven. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, besides that, I don't think anyone else gets major tier list changes. Why is there a hack there? I just noticed. Yeah. He's there to replace the skill set crop, because I don't think anyone's really paying attention to those, but I even open up a skill set sometimes to keep up too. Yeah, you can do that on your own window now. You interact? Oh, thank you. Are we keeping Sentetsu in S tier? That was debatable, but I think he's kind of fine where he is right now. Just because I don't think he's really worse than Isaribi's best team. He can still like kind of skirt around damage caps. It's just not really as good. So I think
Yeah, that's the multi-hit in this kit. That's what that puts him in S tier for me.
yeah. Also the fact that, even though it was cool for him to do his double S3, it did cost a fuck ton of view, so it wasn't really that practical for most people. I think this is a necessary evil because otherwise they'd have to keep this broken ass interaction in mind every time they design a repeatable S2 and tone it down accordingly. Well, Volp's variant gets to keep his S2 extra action bullshit, so who really knows?
Well, that's on them for not adding a unknown action clause on his S2, which
Okay, but
I guess it was like whatever back when it released, or I didn't think about that when it released, but now it's just like one of those decisions they make that seems like it has no consequences, but now just matters so much in the context of today.
Well, you didn't think about it because there weren't S2 triggers.
I mean, Visu Hail existed, but I didn't think about Visu Hail, or I guess no one really bothered / cared.
Yeah, because nobody was gonna spend like a bajillion VP for like H Volp S2, which is basically free.
Pretty much.
And his team is like still. I mean, you can run other units, but I think H Volp is kind of like fairly strict about who you want to bring most of the time.
Yeah. Well, Chris Mysterio gets to keep his extra action, so we are the real winners. I've been wondering why Barrel's FUA doesn't work anymore after this patch. It's because it could have been something internally in the turn stuff. It is probably because his gauge attack is tied to some weight mechanic already. Who knows though? It's a bug? Yeah, it is a bug. Okay. We don't need to reevaluate anyone, right? Like, this tier list is fine as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's move on to adding more people then. Can we put Rocked in Forgotten begging? Unfortunately, he has a skill tree, so, it is what it is.
In some ways, people will be occasionally asking if his skill tree is good, so he is not completely forgotten.
Yeah. He'll never be forgotten as long as Fiery exists. So Tommy could be in B, methinks. Not really. Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, Denari Hito autos for VP. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to Astar now, base form. Does this guy exist in HEQs at all?
I
guess.
don't really think so.
Not really. I mean, he might be fine if you want to trigger Gonron passive and you don't have like any self-ally hitters.
Yeah. I think he's kind of the most important person for farm quests. If you're running like Jailbreak Oki or Valentine Sentetsu. Just because like Gonron passive is just really strong with him. But like for actual HEQs, he's kind of a nothing burger unless you're running like, I don't know, maybe Gaisei. His S3 doesn't really exist, which is sad. So I'm thinking like maybe A tier for him. Should be the same tier as Mr. Quartz himself.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking A tier. Like a pretty solid, like basically like, around Yohack tier, but Yohack has more funny meme possibilities with stuff like extended actions. Well, Astar doesn't really have that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put him right next to. Does he give your account more value than Rokusei?
Maybe for farming.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll put him up. I'll put him below Anniversary Pub, I think. Is just farming that valuable? Him above Grigori feels weird. Yeah, but you have to realize that he's really fucking good for farming, and he's not like you don't have to use him with just Jailbreak Gokitaka or Isentetsu. Like any burst DPS works out with him. He's not the worst in HEQs, but you do have to like think about using him more. 20% attack up to allies with fortune is pretty good. The issue is that like he doesn't really have ways to give your team fortune outside of his S3, which is like never really getting used just because his S2 is just that much stronger. You might try him out with V Sentetsu, but that means replacing Saotome. You probably should have kicked Saotome faster than this, but you know, that's what it is. Yeah, I'll put him below Anniversary Pub. Do you have any thoughts, Milk?
No thoughts on this character.
Okay.
Because it's like, you just like spam S2, you never use his S3 basically.
Yeah.
And like his passive is like so forgettable. It's like whatever.
Alright, let's move on to his variant then.
Summer Aster?
Yarr.
He's kind of weird. In the sense that I think him and Summer Yohack are like one of like the most pick up and play banners. In the sense that if you get both, they have a very clear strategy. Where for Summer Aster, he just like uses S2 and then like he uses S3 to get more damage after getting all of those explosion stacks. And it's cool and it's like strong because it's like Festival Koki. But then you realize that like Festival Koki like out damages him. And that like Summer Aster has to do this like S2 S3 chain to like basically match the same damage as Koki. And that to me is like kind of annoying because like I have to struggle a little harder even against this like fire boss, you know, the guy that Summer Aster has elemental advantage with, and like, you know, he doesn't have like a damage passive like Koki. He has like a rate up one. So that's kind of annoying. And like when you do that comparison, that like S2 S3 like gameplay is kind of annoying. That you have to do that to like get that sort of damage. I do think he's still very strong though. Like, you know, that S2 is very good. It's one of the strongest in the game, even though it's very VP hungry. You know, he has really good synergy with Summer Yohak, since it's literally 5 explosion stacks, and he's like one of the only people who can like ignite explosion stacks like that on his S2 and his S3. And he actually also kind of has value for beginners if they're trying to run like a shitty burn team, just because he has like that debuff rate passive. And you know, you see some like crazy teams with like, oh yeah, I use Summer Aster S1 so they could like burn the boss as well. You know? And like they're not, well, maybe they got the 100k score on the SSS sim, but you know, they're out there, they're like, oh yeah, you use H Nesson and Summer Aster, and it's like, what? But sure, you know, I guess it makes sense, you know, when Summer Aster has that like rate up passive. Oh right, I forgot the funny thing about this character is that like he came out and like, you know, there is that like, I don't know if you all remember, but remember there was that time when it was like, this is the Astosis upscale or some shit. Was that for like Star? But you know, it was like this guy came out and he has like this rate up passive, like fucking stole base Astosis' gimmick or some shit, right? Like so
That was
funny.
funny.
Like this is the Astosis upscale or whatever. Yeah. Or it was like Xmas Johnstar. But anyways, I think he's kind of like the central figure in like explosion teams. Probably not like, not as like, you know, central as Summer Alpheka, but you know, explosion teams, they have to like look to him if they're ever gonna like build on the mechanic.
Yeah, basically. Let's go to chat real quick. Fighting for his life to out DPS the beast, but he cannot. Yeah, it's really annoying how like even against a water enemy, like Festival Koki still manages to out DPS him just because, for one, Aster has lower multipliers on his S2, and 2, Koki has the innate debuff advantage, whereas Aster's is just like proc rate advantage. So that's why you see like Koki more easily two-turning this current Lantern boss than Aster can. East Arabian and Aster are the best brothers. Got that gratuitous ass shot. Why is he stepping on Yohak? Excuse me. Oops. Now, why would you change the Sorry, put it back.
True.
I like his print more, sorry.
No,
Squeezing-
I like both, really.
Squeezing my Mokdai sidekick for every bit of view when I'm running him and Geostosis together. Yeah, it is quite rough on view, those two. I thought Yohak was a polar bear at first. Nope, he's just a fat cat. You were the first person I've seen call him a cat, actually. He's a dog as a mage. Oh, I'm a fake furry, can't distinguish species. I call told, so now I'm pretending I know. The funniest part of his kit is his S3 animation. Yeah. That star should be an F tier just because he has the worst animations for that year.
Animation tier when?
That's how I stand. I love standing still.
Yeah, they like really saved all that animation budget for like the H-Pulp event that year or some shit. I don't remember what Inoshima did for like Oro farming. I guess they had the Shiratori thing, right?
Yeah,
actually
pretty much
quite a lot for the climax because like it was 2 boss themes and then it was like
I mean animations.
You had the train and then you had the tunnel transition.
Mm-hmm.
He like kneeled, but then like Astosis gets like spinning.
Astosis literally jingling keys.
I mean, this event was pretty funny for its climax, but yeah. So basically, you're saying that Assist's job got stolen by Summer Astar, basically. Yeah. Smooth Orgus. Considerably hotter Orgus, to be honest. All
True.
the Inoshima budget went to the ass shot. OMG, get that ugly ass Fkari character out of here. Yeah, but then you don't have to pull and look at Alt Koki, so he's a buff. I suppose so. Why is Zuhak squished? I took out the skill set crop since I didn't think anyone was looking at it. But I had to fill in the space in there somehow, so I just like put in a flat Zuhak. It's gonna be funny when Summers are bad animation banner for a 3rd time in a row. Don't manifest that. They put all the budget in each cheek. Who do you think is hotter, Astar or Synthak?
Ooh, that's a hard choice.
I'll have to see, like, Synthak's body more, I think.
I will give it to Astar because I think his variant is really hot. So Synthak has a chance to catch up if his variant matches.
Synthak's cuter. Synthak best. Yeah. Alright. They explore each other's bodies. Alright, where should we put him in the S tier? Because I think that's probably where he is right now.
Yeah. I didn't really say much about Astar, but I don't really have that much to add. I think everyone else pretty much said everything. I will admit that Koki does outdamage him, but as Lucky says, I do not care enough. There is a damage difference, but I'm fine with not thinking about Koki anymore with Astar in my account.
I would actually rate him higher than Koki, just in terms of like gameplay value. Because like for Koki, you have to like hard lock into that Sui passive nonsense, you know, for like max like value. But then with Astar, I think he's like very flexible.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I did see another clear with Astar. Did I use Sweet Pass? I probably did use her or their passive. But yeah, I did see another 2-turn Astar clear, and the team was Halloween Nessun, Viastosis, and then Vlaham.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
This was 2-turn for what?
Lantern.
Really? I don't... That's interesting. Was it Sui
Yeah, I can-
passive nonsense?
Probably because like that's kind of how you. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Like,
the state
It's the only way. Yeah, it's the only way you can get enough damage. But I think, let me check. I think what's interesting is that, he kills in the 4th hit, so it is actually a bit more damage than the last Astar clear I saw.
What did I use? Oh, I used V-Gaius and Archibald.
Yeah, I'll post it in chat, or not like stream chat, but
I guess if you're using HNS, what was HNS on Summer Astar?
here I'll just post a team screenshot too.
Because it probably is just like the burn. see. Oh, it's Borrow Sen. Oh.
What the fuck is that team?
I'm like trying to think about what LaH does in this team. Like apply Scar.
Scar plus View.
I see, I see.
I guess it can work. Do you think Astra gives your account more value than Summer Sadayoshi?
Yeah, well, Summer Sonic. I think in terms of a lot of the big HDQs right now are single target bosses, and so I would prefer single target DPS over AoE spam in this current age. So I would say yes.
I think he's like fine if you just like bring Summer Yohak support. He like is both single target and AoE. Just because like, you know, if you have one you just take the support of the other.
Okay, I'll just put them next to each other then.
Yeah. That was what I was thinking actually as well.
You think Summer Sada is evergreen for new players? Yeah. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I
think...
actually get a lot of value out of Summer Sada.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like he's kind like he does like feel kind of power crept, but he's also like still there.
He is the only option for like follow-up spam, rather. Aside from like Antares. Can we ban clears its 3 passives are not real? Yeah, I agree. I remember it covers Reset Crisis on the New Year SS, lol. That was kind of sad, to be honest. As a new player, Summer Sada is still fucking comfy. Yeah, You don't get much comfier than Summer Sada Yoshi.
Yeah, it's like I'm not arguing for like how much value he brings, but I'm thinking about like final end game, and I think Astar gives you more value in the end. But Summer Sada is really good. Starting off.
You're gonna be changing your tune when the Slime SSS quest comes back.
Right. And well, that's a quest built for him.
Well, this is kind
of like saying Summer Sada is a bad unit because he's not good on Lantern.
This is a quest built for Summer Astar with the Lantern. Okay. We've talked enough about Astar now. Who's next? It is Ganron.
Oh. The only unit to be buffed slightly, maybe. Not really, but like, kind of after it turns out that the wiki was wrong for 2 years.
So he's dog shit, right? Like, there's no discussion. Like this is
he's still bad.
He's a fucking terrible tank. Oh my god.
Wiki incorrect skill description or not, he's still a bad unit.
Let me see what speed's at. 1 to 7. I guess that's fine for a tank. Yeah. Does he have anything redeeming about him besides like being faster than most tanks? Not really.
Yeah,
no.
Forged for a damage buff, but it's shit.
Good luck trying to get that's a whole challenge video in and of itself. Trying to get his forge stacks up to 8. Like, legitimately try to do that during a quest and not die.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he would still, like, even if you bring him in multi-hit HDQs, I'm pretty sure he would still get his ass kicked by more Yasu in that New Year's one. Or in that quest in general.
Yeah. This character isn't good. Yeah.
I think having your taunt last 2 hits and only defense for 2 hits is like kind of a recipe for disaster. Because once those 2 hits are spent, not only is he vulnerable, but like so is the rest of your team. And like you never have a opportunity to use any other skill besides his S2, I think. Like, his S3 is like only used as a payoff skill, really. So like, you have this really mediocre tank who only exists to give your team like maybe a 15% damage boost the entire time. And 15% is like kind of trash. That's like the same as a psychic passive. Get this brick off my screen. I've never seen this art of him. Yeah, no one else has either. Congrats, Gonron, on your translation buff. His ability is better, Gonron or Alberic. They're both F tier. I don't want to remember this man after the last stream. He's terrible. He's above Turbeck, I'd say. I mean, it is hard to be worse than Turbeck.
Bars in hell.
He can give you 20%. Woohoo! I just think they hate Pom Pom. In terms of 4-star tanks in a post-Valorant world, this guy is not making it. He already did it in release. It was so funny reading his SC before the correct translation. Bar is indeed in hell. Yeah. There's just like no horizontal investment for him. He's like actually a brick. Sad. Better or worse than Gomesa Christmas variant?
God, oh my god, that's a hard choice because it's like technical benefits. I could say like
he generates view.
Yeah, I guess it's better.
Yeah, Gomesa's taunt actually lasts, you know, the full 2 turns, I think. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's like the only benefits I can think of Gonron providing to your team are so hard to obtain that it's unrealistic. So at least Gomesa can consistently give you view.
Okay. Goodbye, weird creature. Who's next? Ooh. I think this is the last 2 women that we'll cover in this game. Hello, Bart. Have you used Bart, Arch? Or did you not pull her?
I have her. I don't, but I haven't used her yet, and I've been really itching to like use her kit at some point because it sounds really good for my team.
Meta defining woman. Is it the most powerful woman in the game? It is, yeah.
Both psychic and hero. You know, good for her.
Woman, can't wait to see her. Yeah, she's pretty neat. You first saw her in the Rexer Valentine's event.
I guess one question I have to bring up. Oh, I guess you can go first before I ask.
Yeah.
So I guess your rating is like a little conditional on whether or not there's a blue bar in the game, and like whether or not that blue bar has a debuff clause where it gets reduced if you can put more debuffs on them. Because if they do have that debuff clause, Bart is like actually really fucking good at trading blue bars. If not, she's kind of relegated to mostly combo teams, and you know, combo teams in general are just not that great right now. But I guess she did get upskilled a decent amount with Alchipa's skill tree, so I suppose that's something to consider. You can go to Arch.
Right. So I wanted to ask because, you know, her thing is that she's kind of like this combo generator, but she doesn't have like the innate +1. Rather, it's her special debuff that gives your combo, you know, based on the amount of times you hit, and then the chance increases based on the amount of debuffs held, I believe. Yeah. So I guess my question is that like, would you say this is like better combo generation than like just a general +1 of combo skills?
I guess it would depend on the team within it. Like, Sentetsu makes better use out of +1 combo gen just because he doesn't actually hit the enemy. Same with Christmas Stereo. But like,
I mean, I think you're always gonna hit the enemy rather than like using combo skills, to be honest. So like, I think I would prefer this, to be honest, just because like even the combo skills, you know, you generally are hitting the enemy. You're not doing like +1 combo and then nothing. You know, it's usually like multi-hit plus combo for every hit. So it's like kind of the same to me.
Yeah, and then I'm also thinking about skills like a Lilac S2 or Summer Alpheka S2, where they both give combo and also hit, and also give a debuff.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like the 50% thing is like iffy, but it's fucking combo. Combo always had like RNG.
Honestly, that's still pretty good. Thing is, because it's like it goes up to, it's basically guaranteed, is it? Oh, almost maybe guaranteed based on luck, because like she applies her S3, which is base 50% chance, and then she triggers her own S1, which gives you 2 chances to 2 coin flips for explosion. So you have a 50-100% chance of guaranteeing combo on that when you hit that enemy with an active skill.
And I mean, you should be running like Rigori passive on her anyways, so like, or like it's very common to be running that on her. So it's like, I've never really cared about this RNG, because it's like, this is the archetype that's like gambling with Viskunam and Hanes already, so it's whatever. Like, you have bigger fish to fry than the Piercing Glare RNG, in my opinion.
I'm just a little annoyed that her payoff skill on her S2 is like mostly
Never used.
worthless. Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be like cooler, but then they released the, you know, that mob sidekick passive. And it's like, I mean, I guess you can like maybe still use it, but I don't know. I've only seen her be used to like shred blue bar and like actually like she's like very fun. She's like very nice to use because she's very cheap and she basically just instantly regains all the VP you spend on her. Yeah, the S2 doesn't get that much use, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think like even like Astosis would like save it, because it's like she already can like do that, you know, if you're running the right passives, like the aim and scar shit.
Yeah.
So there's like no reason to be casting Astosis guidance on her, I think. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. I got that. They just murdered Guro's alt. They've got to kill like someday. What do you mean you're not using QG S2? Need Smoky God Glint in this game? I mean, it could be funny. I saw Harvey use Valheim SK passive and stole it instead. Yeah. I think with that setup, it's only really good if your team has like 0 fucking batteries for view. So like all you're doing is just like a natural view gain. Great, now tell them to put their apprentices in the support banner pool. If only. Where do we put this thing?
She's kind of weird because yeah, she like depends on the blue bar, and her like best team is like combo, which is always like a strained archetype to rate.
Yeah.
So, it's literally Summer Alpheka at the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, she's very strong.
Yeah.
You know, if you run her with the right people. But it's more so that she makes the other people look very strong.
I feel like she's very good for like because it's kind of like her S2 is really good, her S3 is also really good. I feel like she just gives a lot of general value.
I kind of want to put her at like bottom of A+ tier. I don't think she's like as valuable as Theo, in the sense that like for like, you know, newbies and even like veterans, Theo's just like very nice to have. The Bard is like kind of replaceable, I think. She's like a really good 4-star option, but like, you know, if you don't have her, you could probably fit in somebody else.
I guess
But, like-
what I think about her kit is that like when I look at her S2, which is like really good, I think it's kind of like she gives these uncommon debuffs at a very conveniently, but at the same time, if you're thinking about endgame, it becomes a lot more easier to apply these debuffs through other sources rather than hard casting it. So it's kind of like a more accessible version of aim and scar, but as you continue on with the game, you just find better and easier ways to apply these debuffs.
Man,
And so hard casting it under S2 is kind of like the utility does go away over time as you find, yeah.
Yeah, once you actually get good at the game, you never use your S2. Aim is like so fucking oversaturated in combo, it's crazy. Like, Summer Alphaka has it, and then Carni's can apply it, and then Chris Asterio can apply it. And like, those are all the relevant combo units. So, her having it kind of...
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah. I still think she's really good, like, as a 4-star. I just think that, like, she's not... And, like, her thing is, like, unique, right? Her thing. Her, like, piercing, like, glare thing. It's just that, like, I think she can, like, be swapped out.
Yeah.
Like, with somebody else, if you, like, put the thought into it. But, like, you know, for a 4-star, she's, like, probably one of the best in the game, I think.
Do you think they'll release HGQs with limited team cost when the LaH roster is big enough? No. Because team cost is a fucking plague in Hosamu. It's probably the worst thing they've ever done for that game.
I think it's just like an outdated gacha design in general. Like, I know there's other gachas that do team costs, and I just think it's kind of a lame way of restricting team building.
Like, oh, you got a 5-star unit? Too bad. You can't use them with other 5-star units because you don't have the team cost for it. Isn't the 5 combo requirement sort of annoying on her S2 because she's going to be starting? Yeah, I pointed that out too when she released. As it turns out, you pretty much never use your S2 anyways though, so
Yeah, like, the thing that you really only use her for is, like, you just spam S3. Because, you know, you use S3 to cast S1. So it's like, that's really the only thing you do. You just, like, put in a bunch of, like, Rigori, the Apprentice passive, get that aim and scar by gambling.
yeah. Holy fuck, I'm on
I
hyper.
guess my opinion with with like the whole +5 combos thing is that you're more likely to cast this thing on because if you're doing a combo team, you set up for 2 turns, and so like you kind of roll over your combo from turn 1 to turn 2, and so by turn 2 you're more likely to have 5 combo if you're setting things up right.
But Arch, what are the chances of running a combo team without Kane's or Chris Mysterio or Summer Alphaka? That's the issue here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess you could run her with LaH base, because that technically piercing glare stacks with his passive. Okay, are we fine with her in below Theo?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Theo's just like so good for like everything. It's a little unfair.
I really need her debuff to be a passive on Anniversary Pub. Not happening. Because Anniversary Pub is not a multi-hit unit. Alright. Shide Masu.
Go Arch. You're the Shidemos defense force here.
Okay, so I think he's actually very fun for a welfare. I think he's kind of like a fun mix of Koloski and Grigory, right? Like he has Grigory's S2. Like no, wait. Yeah, Grigory S2, you know, because of the AoE debuff removal. And then, you know, plus attack down, which is actually really nice. If you look at his S2 just by itself, like AoE debuff removal and attack down, that's a pretty solid skill for 4.5k. And then, like Koloski, he could also shut down a unit. And, you know, like he applies both silence and overcharge. And, you know, if this enemy is silenced, then he defaults to overcharge instead, which is very, very not... Which basically not a lot of enemies are immune to, because, you know, it's... As I think I mentioned before in the last stream or something, overcharge is basically just like the silence too, but, you know, actually allowed in HDQs. So his S3 is basically just a whole shutdown thing. And then his S1 applies defense down, which is, you know, S1 defense down. You can't really go wrong with that, because it's kind of like, if you don't have any it's a good setup move and stuff. Actually, I think the funny thing with this kit is that I think they kind of realized that it's kind of too good for a welfare, and so he has this entire mechanic where he just kills himself, or like he tries to kill himself, because like if you see his S2 passive, it reads that he gets metered provoke. He gets a metered provoke when an ally drops under 50% HP, and so what that means is that he will just take damage. He will just have enemies target him for like one hit when an ally drops, and you know, if you keep healing your allies and they keep repeatedly going under 50% HP, then he will keep getting meter provocation and thus will eventually die. So that's kind of how they nerf him. Like, I also think that the fact that they gave him the debuff roll too, or not the debuff roll, they gave him the defense roll because he's supposed to be a quote-unquote tank. But really, I think that's kind of like a nerf, because if he actually was a debuff roll, I think this would actually be kind of insane, because he has like all his debuffs would be amped up by 1. His debuffs would be extended by 1, and I think that would actually be like really good. But they didn't want to do that, so they nerfed him. At least that's what I think. But overall, I think he's actually like one of the best welfares. You can argue if he's like better or worse than Nomon, but at the very least, I think he deserves second place. Minimum.
I don't know. I think Lucky put it best, where it's like Grigory S2 looks inside standard action economy. That's a lot of things to say for a unit that's just B tier. Yeah. You're getting ratioed Arch.
He's a welfare. I think you have to give him some slack. That, you know, yes, he has like basic action economy, but he's also a welfare. The fact that he has all this on his kit is actually pretty impressive to me.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I did say before that like action economy doesn't matter that much as long as your skills are strong enough to compensate. And his S2 is pretty good. But you know, is it like Viastosis guidance, like merchant good, you know? And also the fact that like I think we haven't really thought about using the overcharge status in like forever. But I also have a well-built account, so I don't think he has that much value to like be put above most people in B tier, to be honest. Like at best, he's just like at Tsuneyaki side grade. Maybe a bit above that though. Milk, what are your thoughts?
L unit. I don't like this unit.
Oh.
I think it's kind of funny. It's unrelated, but I think it's kind of funny that I like his S3 animation. It's like better. than Okitaka's in the same
Oh yeah,
banner.
true.
Yeah, his S3 is so extra. It's funny as hell.
I actually have kind of used him a little with like, you know, his S2 debuff removal, but I don't know, I never really like cared too much about this unit. So that's why I was like, go Arch. I just think I could do a lot better, you know, instead of trying to run him. I think he's also kind of the start of like Gomtong being like very unrestrained, if you know what I mean, about how he draws LaH characters. That's just me.
I
Like
guess
we went from like Polaris Mask, you know, who's like, sure, that's a Gomtong unit, and then we got like, I'm gonna skip Andrew, but like, we went to Shiremas, and then he's like, okay, this guy's wide, and then we had Huli, and he's like, Dorito.
Okay, I guess what we could think about is like, does he have any like horizontal investment options? And I think the answer to that is like, not really, right? You just bring
Yeah.
them to counter mechanics, and if those mechanics don't need to be countered, then he doesn't do anything.
I don't think he's gonna get it any better over time.
Yeah, me neither.
Like unless they like really start shilling silence and overcharge and shit.
I don't think they
Like-
will. Yeah.
I think it's kind of a very unpopular strategy too, so
Yeah, I guess I'll concede that he's probably better than Suniaki, just in the sense that his S2 is kind of a lot of effects packed into one. And his S3 is like kind of more useful usually.
yeah. I think I could see that. The debuff removal
Mhm.
actually matters. When it was like that Inoshima challenged him, I think, or like SS Quest or whatever it was.
Any snatched waste enjoyers? Any Enigma enjoyers in chat? We're spending a lot of time on these bums, huh? Already an hour in. Okay, I'm putting him above Tsuniaki. Any objections?
Okay. No,
I think
that's
that's
good.
fine.
Okay. Who's next? Bagel, we already rated. Base Rudin, I think?
Mm.
Yeah. Base Rudin's kind of unfortunate because he's kind of like bootleg Shaft in the sense that you have an S2 that gens you and applies like a debuff. This time it's aim. But the unfortunate thing though is that aim is like so omnipresent in this game that like this like S2 has lost value actually. I've never really cared for his S3. It's like, you know, that like shitty damage S3 that they've had with since like Flamier. I forgot this applies Mosaic, but you actually kind of don't want Mosaic on this unit since he's like generating view. Like Mosaic is not good. Oh, I guess he at least has a damage passive, but it's like 20% attack for one action for 30k view.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
That's like is
it's-
averaging out like to like 5%, I think. You know, like since everybody's doing actions everywhere now, and you know you have to generate 30k view, that this passive actually doesn't really exist, in my opinion.
I mean, it's still
Like,
more
you can
than
just run Bart, and then like Bart applies that piercing glare thing. That's 10% already. That's more than what this guy is doing.
yeah, but you know, it's still more than Base Shaft, who actually doesn't have a passive at all. So, and also aim is just better to apply than defense down. So it is what it is.
Yeah, at least Shaft is just Naruhiko's sidekick. At least Rooted isn't being replaced by anything.
I think its S3 would be better if it lasted 2 actions instead of 1.
The mosaic.
Yeah, because that means you can like actually plan around the enemy not generating any view. But now it's just like, what the fuck are you
It's
doing?
weird.
What the like, what are you supposed to do with 1 turn of Mosaic? He should at least be better than Turback. He probably is better than Turback. Is Mosaic even useful? I've never thought of using it. It's
Like very, very situationally useful, in the sense that like, if you've had like an enemy that does a double action, and that double action is just like them trying to cast their like, you know, their like big S3, that Mosaic actually is very useful for that situation. And like, even though I said it's very, very situational, that situation happens to be in the roguelike boss at the very end. Like, you know, in the normal mode, where it tries to do like a double S3. It's still very niche though, so you know, if you want to say it's useless, then honestly that's fine.
I think I ranted about Mosaic back when we were breaking Yoshiori, so just refer to my entire Yoshiori Mosaic rant from like 2 streams ago.
I think it's just bad on Rudin in the sense though that like, this is a guy who's like designed around spending view and generating view. Like, and the point of Mosaic is that you kind of want to have low VP before that boss does, you know, gets to spend their thing, so that they don't like spend their thing. But then this S3 generates 10k view, so I guess you have to spend it all before that. But yeah, it's like kind of awkward because of that.
yeah.
You should probably just move on.
Yeah.
There's not really much to talk about this unit.
Every time I see a 20% attack amp, I just think, can't I click Connie's S2? And that's my way to see if an amp is good or a pain in the ass. Yeah. Is he, like, better than Yuhang? Like, does he reach
I think
B
it's
tier?
like kind of good for farming actually,
Really?
in
I
like
don't-
event farming.
Maybe, I don't know.
But he's
Kind
like,
of just
he's like
force the
tied.
5K.
He's tied to Reiki passive though, because his base speed is like tragic.
Oh.
It's like 105 base speed or some shit.
Because I'm like kind of forced to bring units.
Yeah,
Like
105. Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
that
like
does
kind of
suck.
forced to bring him, and then like when I'm doing auto, it's like, okay, he does VGen. Thank you. But yeah, it's just like whatever.
You'd rather use an aimbot over Yuhang? Yeah, I can see that. Better than Yasuhiko? Question mark.
I think they're kind of on the same level. I think I would actually rather use Rudin, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. That checks out.
I don't know, I feel like maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe yes, with aim being so applicable, I feel like you might get more use out of 3 defense down.
How many characters have we got through? 4? There's still like 15 more. Yeah, I blame Arch.
Oh,
Lucky.
hey, you're the one who
Summer
you gave me. Hey, you gave me the floor for Shide. That's on you.
Sun-
I
Yeah, that was milked. Lucky
He
Summer
has
Sound
bad
speed is
memory,
106. He shouldn't be in S tier. Fuck true. All right, let's move on to his variant. I think. Yeah. What a
Really, we
key-
didn't talk about him. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think we did. Yeah, we have not.
Yeah, you can go. You're gonna call him like some peculiar, right?
Yeah, what a peculiar creature. Um, so this unit is like really good when it's being shelled, but like very mediocre when he's not being shelled. So in this Lantern quest, right, where you have like a fire boss who gets defense down when you use a view skill, and like you have fucking Astosis with his event bonus, and he's giving Rudin like double S2s, which means you just get to ramp up on that defense down. Yeah, so when the content works in his favor, he is one of the best like sub DPS options. The issue is that outside of that, he's just kind of like this upgrade for base Gaius, where you just like use him for farming. But like he's a little slower because S3 takes like forever to go off. And like if you don't have the damage, then he uses his S3 again. So you just have to wait for that twice to proc. He's actually pretty fun to use. I just don't think he has as much impact as anyone in the S or S plus tiers. And he's not necessarily best in slot for any teams either. So yeah. I'd say he has about as much worth as like Easter variant, but like maybe a bit more. Those are all my current thoughts now. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I don't really have him, so I can't really say. I guess like he's kind of neat if you ever have like those VP spending gimmicks, like Isaribi, Summer Koloski, things like that. He's just kind of like he's currently and I guess more likely will be the highest source of spending VP all at once, since he can give like I forget 30k max. He could spend 30k max, I believe, right? In one action.
Yeah.
Or was it 20k?
It's 30k for his S2.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's just kind of his niche, and that's kind of how I see him.
Yeah.
But with the Lantern Quest and stuff, it has shown his potential if under the right circumstances. But you know, that's very specific.
I know
Can't always be applied.
I know you said like Summer Koloski is an option, but like Summer Koloski doesn't really want Rudin that much either. I think he just wants to use his S3 half the time to proc his gauge. And then like he's kind of demanding for his other teammates too, so there's not really any space for Rudin in the first place. So yeah, it's really just like Anniversary Burl, but like not even best in slot, and like the meme team where you use Bard Dons or DPS, where he's good because of how like Constricto works with him. He just exists to suck Sparrow's passives, kind of. Also, why isn't he VP gain for Josen upscale? Yeah, who knows. Wow, this unit with the cool VP J mechanic gets glossed over in 5 minutes while Marfik gets 20 minutes of screen time. Yeah. LOL. He was the only way to get 12 gauge and barrel on 2 turn, but VSS stole that from him. This is why I hate when banners are made with each other in mind, because somehow someone always gets fucked in the end and it's always a human.
That is like not true when Mentaiko exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fruden, Genji, Isensetsu.
Genji is fine. It's just that he's not Volt. He's not...
Yeah, that's just a whole other issue. But Genji is good for like the enmity teams.
Yeah,
And he's kind of well. I guess we'll get to Genji later in the stream, so I'll hold that thought.
yeah. So my only thought on Rudin is that it echoes Harvey's thing, where it's like this guy is like so shield, like mega shield, that like he's actually kind of good value to have. But then like when you try to use him outside of it, it's like this shit is ass. And like you kinda also want barrel with him, like get max value in my opinion. So yeah, he's very weird.
Yeah. I guess it's just kind of rough because horizontal investment for him isn't in the greatest spot right now. It's like you either use him with Biastosis, you know, who was the best support in the game, and like Anniversary Barrel, or like maybe Bardonzo. And that's pretty much it when it comes to like his best teammates. But S3 pretty and he looks cool, yeah. That's pretty, but it also takes like 20 seconds for his S3 to be over, so... Ooh.
It might be more interesting when they finally get the view spend gimmick right, but they really aren't getting it right with like Uli and shit. It's not happening.
He'd be really good if he had access to more amps, but he doesn't. And that's probably why his Dosis is good with him, because you get to use his S2 for free, which is his best skill. And then that gives him room to like use a good sidekick skill for an actual amp. The only thing I'm gonna give to him is the VP storage from S2 Plus. That shit is actually so useful when you want to avoid bosses doing anything. Yeah, it is a really cool mechanic where you can just like cuck the enemy from using their skills, and then like you get to refund some of that view back on the next turn, like a bank. It's just kind of unfortunate because it doesn't really like interact with too many other people besides like Turbak, who's dog shit, and like Anniversary Brawl. The S2 Plus feels really cool to use in general. Everybody hates combo, but VP gain is low-key on thin ice. Okay, the view archetype is like really weird. I don't know. I think it's just barrel, to be honest. Although I've had time where it's disappeared on me and I don't know why, because I'm dumb. Generally, if he had amps, he would be perfect. Yeah. So is like top of A plus fine with you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to Kane's. Our first not brick character to stream.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's like the best unit for that S1 combo thing, but I have to make do with this Kunom instead. So that's unfortunate. I don't have Summer Alpheka myself, so I can never use him. I can never use Kane's.
Yeah, quick warning for the stream, none of us actually pulled this unit, even though he's actually really good. But I did test with him a good amount, so I think I have a good grasp of what he's good at. But yeah, he's been kind of slept on for a while, but he's kind of like one of the most flexible sub DPS in the game. Very good combo engine, very good for rolling effects. You can use him to like proc a lot of sidekick debuffs like Grigori and Scar if you wanted. And he's like not bad at like being a combat healer too. Like if you can rack up those debuffs and the attack up buffs, then Blazing Heat ends up like actually healing your team a good amount. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Give us like a couple months, all three of us will be buying Kanes on anniversary.
Okay, so the chat says his name is actually pronounced Kanes. Yeah, it's like the Latin word for canine. You know, it's like constellation themed. If you like actually see how people pronounce it in Japanese, that Japanese pronunciation, it's Kanes. Yeah. I think like it would be nicer if his like passive gave a bit more damage, but you know, he's still a good unit regardless. But they're in that age of like, ooh, 20%. Ooh.
Yeah, what would you say is like his best aspect? Is like, I don't think it's like, is it like the combo jet, or just the fact that he's multi-hit, or like, is it because he also gives himself fortune too on his S1 or on his S2, which then follows up into S1? Like, what makes him good? Because I've been trying to kind of describe it, but I haven't really been able to get it down.
I think
It's obviously the combo multi-hit, because like if you removed it, then he wouldn't be good.
He is one of the only people who has like a multi-hit S1 in the game, right?
Yeah.
And then it has a combo attached to it, and then he has like this S2 that gives him good luck, and then that forces in another S1, right? It's really just a combination of factors of like having all these good things in his kit and like being cohesive as well. To be fair, he's 20% plus attack up plus attack expansion on all units. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. It's just that I'm like a little, this could be better. This like passive when I look at it, because you're almost always gonna get attack up somewhere else. So it's like, why did they like kind of gimp him this 20% passive, which is basically like 4-star level. And then all these 4 stars we talked about today were just kind of shit, even trying to reach 20%. So I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice if I had him so I could test him more, because the only way I can use him is like in the demos where he just seems kind of like expensive as fuck. I think that's probably his like kind of main downside, is that he's like kind of view hungry-ish, but it could probably be fixed if you like invest in it and then like put the right shit.
Yeah. It's like 6k view for his S2, and then like if you want to use his S3, it's 10k view. And usually Carni's teams don't usually have a source of like view cost discounts, so it is something you have to think about. Luckily, his best teammates have good sources of view, Valentine guys existing. Also, yeah, it's really easy 20% amp, which is something you have to keep in mind compared to the other 20% amp slops that ask if you so much for mid. Yeah, makes sense. But where do we put him in S tier?
Oh, I don't know really.
Do we have any combo gen in here? Not really.
We have Sentetsu.
I kind of want to say at least over.
Yes, kind of Sentetsu, but you're also bringing him for speed, which is kind of like what I remember him for, really.
Right. I think he's at
Where
least
do we
better.
represent combo on S?
I think he's at least
I think
better
he's
than-
like very flexible, so
Yeah.
I would like at least put him over like Koki and LaH and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least over Vlaham. Would I prefer to have him over Koki?
I
guess
think I
not.
would, just because he's very flexible.
Yeah.
Well, Koki's stupid strong, but I'm thinking about, because I do think he's under Allen and Sentetsu, so I don't think he's gonna be passing those two in terms of like support.
I'll put him below Sadayoshi.
That's
Okay.
fine with me.
Above Koki, I am fine with that.
Fuji.
Alright. Moving on to Christmas Stereo. Yay. So this character is not touched by the guidance changes. He inadvertently became a lot better than a lot of other people, which is funny to think about. Who wants to cover this guy first?
I mean, you are the one who invented the double stereo.
Right. I guess that's a thing. So yeah, the funny tech where since his S3 can sometimes trigger 2 follow-up attacks, and because his S1 and S2 cantrips don't follow the, the cast this on your own turn clause, it means that if those get triggered by a follow-up, like via Stosis, Guidance, or like any other SN follow-up, he gets an actual like extra free turn. Which means that since Stereo can proc, another follow-up attack if he has resonance, that means that he can proc this onto another Christmas Stereo, and then that Stereo gets another turn, and then that Stereo can also use an S3, give another turn to the other Stereo. So you just gave your Stereos both an extra turn, which is really goofy. Meta-wise, it's quite interesting. I think his best aspect is how much he can mitigate RNG, just because he is a combo unit, but he is a tank, but he also has a good amount of amps via aim, and then he has his gauge skill where if he's like hit enough or if he uses enough actions, he'll give your team a damage boost. It's only 50%, but it does stack up to 3 times. The other thing is that, he's also one of the few tanks that can push for extra damage just because his S3 forces another follow-up attack. Whereas tanks like Polaris Mask, they don't have the highest damage contribution in your team. So yeah. He also has pretty decent sustain too. Every time his gauge skill pops up, he gets healed a good amount, and his S2 will also heal him. And because his S2 will usually be a free action, he just gets to do for free, same as Polaris Mask. Let's see. Stereo, goodest boy, S+. Hey yo! Bro, I just can't emphasize how much QOL is his S1. I remember doing the double stereo strat before anyone else in the server. Double turn, but Harvey did the stereo twice. Oh no. Double Alpha to double stereo O combo. What's Sui passive? Yeah. Wait, does LaH do off-season banners like a Christmas banner on a different season? I will dump all my savings on this character. They're very
running
well.
like double banners now that are like kind of off-season, so maybe.
But only if they're old though and already rerun. Christmas Stereo is not going to be in that treatment until at least after his event rerun, and then after his first anniversary appearance.
Yeah.
But even then, I think they're trying to prioritize. Yeah, even then, just wait until his rerun or anniversary. That's like going to be the soonest you'll see his banner get rerun.
Yeah, I like this unit a lot actually. I was like kind of annoyed on release that his like S3 was basically like kind of like Johnstar S2, but like a little gimmickier because he had to like get 10 bar. Like after like playing him a lot, he's like held up very well, and he's like very nice to use, and he's like quite honestly like very cracked in combo if you run him with like Summer Alpheka and shit. His taunts thing makes him like very good for sustain, and his like triple action bullshit means that he's probably gonna be like a mainstay for like most stuff. Like I can see him like just getting better over time, just because he's like one of the few people who can just like act 3 times per turn.
Yeah. The triple action thing is kind of funny because it means he actually has a good amount of flexibility for like sidekick passives. Personally, I like using all of you on him, just because like mine has max fan count and also max engrave, which means that he ends up being a V positive tank at the end. Is this the titular good looking? Nah. I was actually talking to the Mokdai ball. We doomed the fuck out of him until we saw him in game, which is really funny. Yeah, dude, fuck combo still. What a garbage mechanic. You just can't die.
Yeah, I would say Ace
whatever.
has fun with it.
Well, the thing though is that you have to also remember that he like kinda falls off when he's like not being shielded by the bosses, like attacking a shit ton of times per turn. But the problem is that like every challenge sim has the boss attacking a shit ton of times per turn, so he's like fine.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm thinking of that. What is it? Was it that snake? Is that or like that thing? You know? And was it the pub event or this Xmas John Star event where it just like attacked like a bajillion times?
It was the
And it was like so
Gianstar
fucking
event
stupid.
because it had like another enemy
Right.
there that did like a follow-up attack whenever the boss attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like okay, and I was like, you know, on release I was like, is this thing like really gonna pop off? And then like we got this thing reprinted, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. And, you know, you see Stereo tank everything, and he just gets a bajillion bar and shit.
S plus for voice lines, thank you. I agree. I think right now he is better than Chris Pillar is because he actually has teams that actively want him. Yeah. Gotcha. So still
Oh,
quite.
he's definitely better. He's like also providing amp. So,
Yeah.
like, he's automatically better.
Polaris
It's like a
does
defense
have-
unit that's actually boosting your team.
Polaris does have an amp
Yeah,
too
definitely.
with Vertigo, but Stereo is just like a lot more comfy to use and like actually like capitalize off of.
No, Vertigo, it takes a long time, and it feels more out of his Vertigo's his AoE Vertigo is like more out of his control because he can only do his S2 twice, but then his primary way of triggering that is by getting hit. So you know you have to rely on your enemies for that. While Stereos is mainly like it's a lot within your control. You might have to build for it, but you can achieve his gauge pretty consistently.
Yarp.
I guess one thing I have to add is that I think he's also just like, on top of being like better Chris's Polaris, I also think he's like better Trainio Shiori, even though I know this group does not like Trainio Shiori, but I do.
Bro, Train Yoshiri is not even in the tier list right now.
Oh, isn't he?
No, I mean like he's not even in the crop right now. Never mind, he is.
Oh.
He's at the bottom of A tier. So,
Yeah.
that wasn't really much of a discussion. BP gain, free action, taking attack up and so much. I feel like he's so well designed. The fact that he can solo activate via Stosis passive is really funny. More like so much views on his own. It's just so funny he took X Polaris, OG Sadayoshi, Gianstar, Borealis stuffs all together onto himself, wrapped it with combo, and somehow works wonderfully. Yeah. It is a lot in one kit for a tank. Gianstar, the X Gianstar boss that gives him enhanced S3 turn 1 for free. I don't even know who that guy is, Art, I'm sorry. Damn. Yoshiori forgotten.
Aw.
What a good dog. Okay. So he's definitely better than Polaris.
Yeah. Hmm. I kind of want to say over Allen's, to be honest.
I mean, I was gonna put him in like the top half of S, I think.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair. I feel
I'm
like
thinking about it,
Santetsu.
and like, I kind of also want to say like over Summer Yohak,
Really?
because, like,
Oh.
just because like he also does sustain, and he doesn't have to do
Yeah.
a field.
Right.
No. I think it's hard to beat Santetsu because he just supports Vulpecula. I don't know, maybe that's like comparing too much.
Yeah, but Chris Asterio also kind of supports Volp in his own way, just because he has the damage redirection and a free aim proc as well. Which means that Volp can, you know, attack, get sands, and also rack up on his S2 sacks faster.
Hmm.
Like, one of the best Volp teams for Plessy is using Chris Asterio, just because of like how much RNG he mitigates.
Do I want to say over Geo Obsidious? I don't know.
Yeah, that is a tough question. It's like, does the best Christmas stereo teams like have more value than the best Jailbreak Obsidious teams?
I kind of would want to say that I would want Christmas Stereo over Geo Obsidious just because of sustain.
Hmm.
Because it's like, Geo Obsidious, you gotta be running some Exodia bullshit. With like D-Gaius and Xmoto and stuff.
I see. I will say one last thing. Probably one of the best pulls from my account. I've been getting so much fucking value out of him. Yuki-Eri kind of is like a testament to how versatile these unit combos can be, not gonna lie. It's so interesting seeing you get the value out of units like Connie's and Stereo. I just like to force him on every team ever made. Yeah, I feel that. I'm gonna put him above Obsidious, just because he has synergy with like, pretty much every like relevant DPS in the game right now, like Anniversary Barrel and like Summer Altheka and Halloween Volp. Obsidious is kind of gated, just like for multi-hit wheelchair. I don't
like
think
he's just there to like do S1, S3, and it's like good, but it's like, you know,
yeah,
it's just that.
I can agree with this just because I can't stand RNG farming passive with Jailbreak Obsidious. Okay, yeah. Do you have any objections, Arch?
No, that's fine.
He's seething right now, I can tell.
Huh?
Obsidious is dying. Is gonna be tier 2 next year?
I like both of these units.
Right. You like them so much that you skipped Summer Raptors event.
I pulled on that banner.
Yeah, I mean, like reading the event, I mean.
Oh.
Jopsy, Exterio, and SEO hack together makes sense to me. Yeah. Alright. Let's move on. Goodbye, Stereo. Who's it next? We recovered. Okay. It's Orbiter.
Oh.
I actually think this unit is mega ass. Holy fuck. I think you don't want to be using Gravity well. I think it's kind of a scam. Like a very gimmicky scam. And I think like his S1 is just some like regular S1 bullshit.
Yeah, it's just attack down. It's like, okay.
So like the only thing we can think of is the S2, and the S2 is like combo +1, defense down twice. So it's like that's like Sui's sidekick. Like okay. So then the thing is that like okay, that means we should just use Orbiter for their passive. But then at that point you would just like use LaH. So it's like, okay, you're fucking useless. Get away.
Does he like do anything useful? Does he do anything that like is actually irreplaceable by other units?
I wish I tried Gravity with H-Volt because I thought there would be kind of like a kind of funny interaction because of how it applies speed up. And I thought maybe it would fulfill Volp's conditions, but it does not, because I think Volp, let me check Volp's kit for a bit.
It has to be an active skill for his
it has to be active. I was wondering if that counted, because like you apply Gravity from an active skill, but also it's also not, it's a status. So yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense, logically, like you're getting speed up from a status and not an active skill.
I mean, I guess like Gravity Well is like supposed to be like, okay, if you have some slow ass fucking unit, you get this auto speed up, to like fix your team order. But it's like so much initial cost for like very questionable value, I think.
Yeah, the thing is that Orbiter is, built for combo teams, and generally combo teams want to carry their combo over to turn 2, and then ideally act last, because that's how you build up combo. So Gravity Well is kind of antithetical to that whole play style.
I think it's kind of like if you have like, some 97 speed bullshit unit, then they can like automatically get fixed to like 107 speed, But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's a problem that really needed to be addressed.
He's fucking dog shit. Rastafan has better speed control and he has better amps in one skill. Like, I don't think it's even a contest. Oh, Hiko loves his unit. Get him out. Get this break off my screen. Yeah.
Yeah, he was right after base stereo released, so he's like actually mega garbage. And it's kind of funny because like the enemy orbiter was so racist, but the actual orbiter we have is just like nothing.
Yeah. Gravity well trauma.
Also, he's like a 4-star that doesn't have a damage amp passive. So it's like, I mean, we didn't have good damage amp passives or like stuff, but like, it's like this guy is doing nothing. It's like, just use a sidekick at that point.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's chat's opinion on this guy. The team's gonna go so hard with the tree. Yeah, I could do that, but that's not right now. So we're gonna clown on him for a bit. He is designed for APUB, yet he grieves him. I hate him. I wish Gravity was more interesting, like instead of VP reduction, some kind of amp. The view discount could be good actually, but 10% is just like nothing, right? Like,
yeah,
it's like pennies worth of view. He gives farming boost to his event, and yeah, in the sub slot, yeah.
Oh right, there's that thing that Gale said that his passive is actually worse than LaH.
Is it?
I don't remember that like distinction, but yeah, there was something about that.
It's just Lilac's amp just Lilac's passive without the damage boost, I'm pretty sure.
But
yeah,
like weird boost thing though, like some nuance. That
you mean for like active skills?
Yeah.
I didn't test that, but I think some people were saying that like, yeah, you can't. It doesn't apply to non-active skills, which was really funny.
I feel like I tested that, but let me check. I'll check the JP wiki if they say anything, because they'll most likely have it written down.
Was it like something about like barrels, like summer barrels, like thing? It was +1 thing.
Maybe.
And, like lilac. Or something. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't like this unit. Like, if you're running the passive, you should just be using base lilac instead. You actually get damage as well.
Yeah.
And like all the skills are like duds. Except like his S2 is like a sidekick level.
Yeah, he is 4-star base lilac in like every way possible. Like down to having dog shit base skills. It's crazy. Are you guys gonna do a pit stop? No, we're just gonna get through everyone else, I think.
Yeah.
The only thing he has going for is like, I don't know, his story goes insanely hard, and that's it. Yeah, basically. So like D tier, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say at least under Sui.
How do you raise?
I'm actually about to test if Orbiter's passive is different. I'm just gonna throw him with like Viscodom, see if that affects anything.
Okay.
But you guys can talk.
How do we rate?
It's like some weird nuance. I forget. You have to like look up what the server was talking about at that time, because
How
it
do
like
we-
affects certain skills or some shit.
Yeah. Like, where do we rate this thing that has like a dog shit passive and like dog shit skills? Like, his best skill right now is like 2 defense down.
Yeah. City sidekick.
Like, worse or better than Turbeck, I guess. It's the benchmark so far.
Riker being there is kind of throwing me off because I don't like Riker either.
Huh?
I mean, what did Riker do? Like 180% conditionally?
It's like 180% if he attacks
He had
someone
a
with a
buff?
buff. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, at least from what I'm testing right now. Let's see. Yeah, I think Orbiter still boosts like a passive combo gain, like the Fire Guardsman.
Okay, that's cool. Well, he's still dog shit though, so unfortunate. This low key shows Harmonious too hard. Get you hanging up beater LARPing if you pretend to use him.
I'm gonna say this unit is like at least over Turback. Because Turback shit you can't use. Like
Yeah.
passive. Like it's a shit passive, but at least you can like use it. But Turbacks you cannot use. And
I
Turback
see.
has like a dead skill as well, for S3. But yeah, I don't know. It's like for Turback it's a literal do not touch button if you actually like want value.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. Do you agree, Arch?
Yeah. Turback's such a like a low bar. Like as long as your skill works and is usable in theory and in design, then you're better than Turback in my opinion.
Finding new ways to shit on Turback? Agreed. The Turback slander must continue. Okay. Do you guys think Yu Hang should be bumped down to C tier? According to Lucky.
LARPing if you pretend to use them.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I mean,
care
he's
to be honest. I've never used
he's
him.
comparable to Kyoichi. That's like it's fine.
Like
Okay, I
he heals,
guess.
but it's like heals off attack stat. It's like whatever.
The next combo DPS is gonna be slow as balls and it's gonna be over rough scale. Yeah, good luck making that thing as good as Emerald Thugga, but we can dream, right? Alright, let's move on. Ooh. The AI characters here.
Kill this unit. This unit sucks. I got off bannered by him. This banner. Terrible.
Okay, what do we say? I guess the first thing I think of is like I forgot who did I think it was Rampy who did the clear, right? With I forgot who posted the gameplay video, but it was like a keylock video where you could just constantly activate you can constantly keep up his field up, and so you would just have the enemy all the enemy's attacks be permanently nerfed. And I think it was with like Anniversary Rodin or Summer Klosky, stuff like that. It's kind of like one of the standouts of his kit.
What?
He's kind of
What? Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, no, it's like because like his common is like an attack down on all the enemies, right? Or kind of, it's like 30% attack down.
It's
And
20%.
So getting 20%, right? I'm forgetting who, but someone posted a gameplay vid where they were able to like consistently extend his calm wind every turn with like anniversary Rodin. And I think
okay.
they may or may not have Koki on the team too, so you just had this like constant attack down effect on the team on the enemies.
Yeah, I was like confused. Like, are we talking about this calm wind extension that's like just 20% down? It's like so shit. It's like
That's
it's
like no,
the
that's
worst
like,
field in the game. Like holy shit.
yeah, it's the worst
No one
field,
has
but like
a
it's like
field.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it's like the thing I can remember about his kit. It was like, oh yeah, I guess that was a thing you could do. Just like if you wanted to
Yeah, but
constantly
this
nerf
field
the
is so
enemy.
fucking terrible. It's 20% attack down. Holy shit. Oh. What are you doing on stream? Oh.
Oh.
The AI heroes. I don't know why I do this all the time. But yeah, like this unit is actually like really bad because like his S3, which introduced the field, is like the worst field in the game. It's like a 20% attack down on like a 10k VP like S3. I think it's 10k. Yeah. And like this calm wind thing is that like you're supposed to like extend it by spending a bunch of you, and then but like the problem is that like Keylok does like the shitty skill transformation using his field as well, where like it reduces duration in order to like do the modified weight so you can upgrade his like S1 and S2. Because S1 is like not really like that amazing. Like even if you have the anchor buff from the modified weight, it's just like additional removal buffs from the enemies. Remove one buff from all enemies. And his S2 is like the interesting thing. It's aim and then vertigo, like 2 turns if you have anchor. But it's like so much effort for like very questionable payoff. This unit is like still interesting in the sense that he's like one of the only people who can apply aim and vertigo at the same time. On one unit if they're alone. And he can do it to 2 turns if he has like calm wind up, but it's really like hard to do that, and it's very expensive. And
Yeah,
then otherwise he's not really doing anything.
Yeah, but like, you know, since he's the debuff roll, if he has a bonus, it goes up to 3 turns, which sounds really funny. But also not very practical, because you have to like, I think you have to set down calm wind first before anchor does anything.
That's neat.
Thinking about how like, you know, we're talking about this like 2-turn vertigo and shit, but like you're like literally better off just bringing like a person with a 20% passive.
Or a Keylok's actual sidekick.
Yeah, but like, you know, if you had like any 5-star that had like, you know, get 20% damage for free, you would not have to be dealing with this vertigo. Awesome. You would, in fact, you can also apply vertigo, you know, and then like get a better ceiling as well. And you would not be doing calm wind. You would not be using your field for this one slot, and then you would actually have like a passive amp that just does that shit for free. And yeah, like aim you can get somewhere else, like guaranteed.
Yeah, all I can say is that this unit definitely introduced fields to the game.
Yeah, he introduced fields, and he probably has one of the worst. I kind of want. I said
Prototype
the worst,
syndrome.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking about a different unit. But I think even Nomen has a better field than this guy, which is like very sad.
Yeah, well, it's cheap. It doesn't take that much effort to cast.
Yeah.
Keylock is just like way too committal, and the payoff is like not great. And you need like a PhD to like understand how to use them too. That's it's not looking hot for him.
Yeah, it's a very complicated kit for like no good payoff. Honestly, like the fact that the modified weight spends like one turn of Calm Wind is just like the mind blower to me. It's like that really did not need to be there. You know? And I also kind of think it's funny that his S3 like heals the whole team for like 100% of his attack if Calm Wind is up. And then you look up his attack stat, and it's like 1.6k. Like, okay. You just like spend like 10k view across 2 turns to be like, I don't know, like Anna level. Anna actually has a higher attack than him. Holy shit.
Harvey GPT generate me a live hero. That is so dumb shit. Sailors are kind of hot, but this guy does nothing for me. It's kind of impressive. He did one thing, and it was to introduce the field mechanic, I guess. He's low-key kooky upscale derogatory. Genuinely AI-generated unit. Imagine your design as a strong sailor captain man with a huge anchor as a weapon that you can swing like it's made of paper, but all you can do is be an aimbot. They made it so you can only have one field at a time, and you would think they would consider making field effects competitive to each other, but no, they didn't give a fuck about this one. Is he meant to be like a generalist defensive unit? You would think so, but his role is actually debuff. So he's supposed to like capitalize off of this S2 with aim and vertigo, and like you kind of weather the storm with like his field and shit, but it's not great. Like I know Rampy did a clear with like the lantern without healing, and that was kind of cool, but it was also a quest where like Rudin had like a shell buff on him, so yeah. I wonder what unit could have a 20% attack hit for free. I wonder. Me too. Yeah, I struggled reading Wiki just to understand how his kit worked. I go, yeah. Fucking Comet Ready and then Anchor is like, why does he have like 5 different terms in his dogshit kit? Oh wait, his sustain is worse than Cookie Tree. That's crazy. I mean, yeah. I guess the healing also goes to himself, which is nice. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if anyone pointed this out, but since he has that special weight, that also means that if you don't want to spend his anchor, that means he can't wait, and so you just lose out on a turn shuffle skill.
Yeah, and you know, since you're probably going to be waiting on a unit who has a defensive field, that's kind of bad in a lot of scenarios. Why does this S3 cost 10k when Theo's cost 9k, or is that an unfair comparison? I can't tell you why it costs 10k, but I can tell you that it feels really bad to use as S3, because he plops it down, and he does nothing else, right? Like, you spend 10k view to get the field up, and like all you get is this shitty ass damage reduction. That is unfair, how dare you. Okay. Where do we put this thing?
At least he can consistently debuff attacks. I guess C. I'm looking at C tier. It's not. I don't think it's like D tier bad. Because he does consistently do things. It's just super expensive, and you have way better options.
No, I think like being expensive is actually a bad thing because since it's so expensive, you can't actually do those things.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, wouldn't it be better if he just like spammed his S2 the entire time and like just ignored the rest of his kit?
And it's like still kind of pricey, you know, like it's aim and vertigo, but it's like 6K, and you actually have to be like, you know, on a single enemy HDQ for it to be like on the same unit. So otherwise it's just aim and then vertigo to all the other people.
Yeah.
So like, you know, if there's 2 or more enemies, you're just like, well, you're fucked, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he kind of has like Christmas Milk Dye syndrome, except Milk Dye kind of has people who sort of want him, like Rudin, and Keylok doesn't have like a best in slot for any team. Do you rather
Honestly,
use Shaft for him on a?
I would rather use Shaft. He's actually
Yeah.
generating video. He's like
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
gonna do something, you know, like
Yeah.
useful. This guy, you're spending view to get a very questionable effect. For
He
aim.
might be worse than Conche, I think.
Wow.
Ritsimoto Masa? I don't know.
Can you
What
pull
Amasa?
the-
He's in C tier.
Oh no, my stream was lagging. Yeah, I don't know. Thinking.
I guess it's like, maybe we should compare him to like Koki, because I guess you can kind of see them as similar, but like Keylok has debuffs.
I think Keylok's better than Koki just because his heal skill actually goes to himself as well, whereas Koki is just kind of left in the dust when he uses this 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Well-
then if we're looking up, then Monomasa kills himself, which is kind of like questionable. So maybe he's better because of that.
I mean, I think Koki's actually just better just to view gen. This guy, you actually have to like spend 20k view just to heal.
That's true though.
Like you have to do Calm Wind, get to the next turn, and then spend another 10k.
Right.
And then
Actually,
that
yeah.
Calm Wind thing, that is literally just Anna's S3 when like everybody's in a pinch. Like it's so bad.
What did Dog say? So do LaH devs actually do new mechanics fields with restraint like this all the time? Like how we were talking about Jersey Devil being absurd for a first like time mechanic? Right.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can point to a lot of units in the game and just say that they're like a victim of prototype syndrome, where they're clearly just like the first example of a kit that a new mechanic that they wanted to test out, and then they just kind of nerfed its potential.
I kind of disagree
Which is
in the
kinda
sense
bad.
that like H-Flip exists, so it depends on like how much you just define what a new mechanic is. Like
Yeah.
Sands of Time, like fair bait, then I think like, you know, they can definitely go overboard. Like is
Well, I think like
it's like
think,
Ignite
like-
the new mechanic, then I think like some
Right.
masters like
I don't think
Good
Sands of
shot.
Time was like the first time they did like a resource mechanic though.
no, yeah, boy, H-Pulp nor Action Extension, because we had like Vlaha before that and stuff.
I think
But
like
I'm
this
thinking-
is definitely like the shittiest thing they've done for a new mechanic introduction. Because
Right.
like fields for like attack down 20% is like, what are we even doing? You know?
No, you guys have a good point about a stereo introducing Scar and him being like a really good way to generate Scar too.
Yeah.
So
Same.
yeah, there's some restraint. Like I think Roiker's the first unit that had damage-based healing, and he's where is he right now? Lead here. Yeah, that kind of shows.
But yeah, when they do new mechanics, I think they're like generally on the safer side. You know, like LaH. Stereo is kind of stupid just because, like, you know, that entire archetype in itself is just kind of overtuned, but it is what it is. Same, at least you could do funny combo with Motomasa and Moriyasu, but nothing about Keel of Luxor is fun. Big view sync. There you go. Are you guys still on Keylog? Hush now, the little boo-boo. Okay, yeah. I guess he's better than base smoke die. Sure.
Wow.
I know. Big achievement for him. Let's move on to Jozen. This funny creature.
I think you'd have more experience with this, Harvey, but
God damn
he's
it.
just like fairly bad. No, I can.
Yeah, I
don't have to talk about it. If you don't want to. He's like supposed to be like this view roll constrained person to buff the attack of them with like his S3, and it's supposed to be like for Isaribi variant because Isaribi variant's view, and he's like a DPS. The problem is that like it hasn't really like expanded like that type of like view roll attacker. They had like opportunity with like the last anniversary with Beryl and Rudin, but they didn't do it. They just put them in attack roll, which is like kind of like what? So and I think that's just kind of the problem in general, is that since he's like constrained, or like, you know, his S3 is like constrained to the view roll for the attack up part, he's just like kind of left floating in the wind, like with the whim and whimsy of whether they put somebody actually good in view. And to me, they really haven't done it at all. There was Noman, who was like the 3-star welfare, and you like could maybe use him since his attack stat's pretty decent, you know, and he's welfare. But like even then, it was like very questionable to be using like this guy, like fucking Noman, you know, like a 3-star. So that's his S3. The S1 and S2 are interesting because they have like this view spend thing. And when I mean interesting, that means he's like greedy as fuck for view, which is actually like kind of an issue because like his S2 means that like that 9k view is just gone, you know, if you're over that. And then what did you get? Flex and attention. Yeah, so this unit's very awkward just due to like him being constrained, and then on top of it you have these like weird expensive ass view spend conditions where his S1 is now like costing your team 3k view. Yeah.
I think about it like in terms, because like for me, Jozen exists to support this very specific archetype Isaribi does. But then I feel like I don't know. I think they just gave up on that idea actually altogether, which really shows with like the anniversary Rodent and Barrel stuff. Like if they didn't give up on the archetype, they would have made those two or at least one of them the VP gain role. But since their attack, I think that means this entire archetype is dead. And so I think that just devalues Josen a lot. And I don't know if because he doesn't really provide that much outside of that archetype, really. Which yeah, that's just kind of it. Like,
interesting. I actually think it would have been interesting if they were both View, but to be honest, I think like they also wouldn't have really been that great of a fit, considering that like Josen gives like attack up, but like Barrel just shreds through it anyways. If he was View. But he's not. But yeah. I guess Rudin would have been like better, you know, he gets attack up and maybe flex. But I'm also just really not a big fan of how they implemented flex and barrier to be like related to the view stat. And I'll kind of like try to be like brief with this, but basically like the way flex is coded, right, is that you give like 30% of the person's view to their attack stat, right? It's minimum 500, maximum like 1.5k. The problem though is that if you're at a DPS, your attack stat is like usually around something like 4k, 4,000. So like a minimum of 500 is like a 1/8 boost. It's like 12.5%. And your view stat has to be like quite sizable in order to be like actually like getting to like numbers, to like reach high numbers. So for example, if you have a 3,000 view stat, that flex value like goes to like plus 1,000 attack, and that's basically like a 1.25 multiplier, which is like, I guess, you know, it's like aim vertigo level, but I think like at that point you might as well just like run a person with a passive.
No, like genuinely you're spending, you have to max fan count them, and that is so expensive resource wise.
Yeah, because
that was like not optimal for
stat. Like,
yeah,
they do all this manipulation. You know, I'm gonna bring it up with Huli later if we get to him, but like, yeah, it's just like not like that big. So like when you see flex, like the most you're getting is like a vertigo type effect.
All right. I find this unit really funny because the best way to use him right now is to ignore his entire kit, use his S1 to gamble for psychic effects, and then make him use the psychic active. He is like at his best when he's piloting sidekick. It is very funny. And yeah, Lucky put it best. Galaxy Brain, using him as an SK bot with S1 spam and a barrier passive. Basically,
wow.
Yeah. His passive barrier is like fucking worthless, right? It's like 20% view. It's nothing. Even if you use like attention and like Huli's field, it's still like probably not gonna ever reach the cap for HP. And like even within the parameters of like using him for these imposter DPS with the view roll, it's kind of not that impressive in the sense that like it's just attack up mostly, which is like pretty replaceable. Like I think a lot of people can give them attack up. Like it's not just Josen. I guess the nice thing is that, you know, it can apply to multiple people, but how many people are like imposter DPS with the view roll? It's like Isaribi, Polaris.
There's like Noman, maybe. You know?
I guess you can use Huli.
I guess. I guess.
I don't think anybody wants to use Huli and his stupid ass S1 thing, though.
We'll get to that. Hope maybe, or maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I guess the funny idea is just the concept of Josen getting upscaled if Flex gets upscaled. but I don't see that happening ever. Yeah, I don't see that happening ever. So, low tier.
Okay. I realize with Conche, I'm pretty sure they slap flex on skills. They want to have something, but not to be good, like such a small number. Yeah, it's
True.
It's
true. That is so true.
It's just there to bloat like your buff count. That's really it. My problem with flex is that it should be more than 30% of base view with swing nothing. Yeah, even with boss plus and intention. Yeah, pretty much. Better than Sotome. I mean, I guess. Oop.
Technically, yes, because at least you can get the attack off. Maybe, conditionally.
I mean, you're doing like an S1 and a sidekick. It's better
Yeah.
than economy.
Hello there, Lynn.
Like, you have to spend you have to spend like 3k view, but you're actually doing something, I think.
I don't know. I still hold my ground that like using him as a sidekick bot is like his best feature right now. It's really funny. Just like ignore the rest of his kit. Barrier doesn't exist. Flux doesn't exist. The fucking attack up doesn't exist. Just make him apply Scar and Taunt and like some other shit with his psychic active, and that's it. Which is surprisingly more effective than like a lot of people in B tier actually. Which is funny to think about.
I guess.
You did barrier calculations, and Josen actually needs both attention and blast plus for his barrier to compete with a generic 40% barrier.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough.
The funny thing about barrier to me is like Alan's sidekick having this like fucking 80% barrier. Yeah.
I forgot about that actually.
Right, that was pretty funny. I get. Did we talk about like if it was the same as like Lauren active or something?
Which one?
Lauren active is just a heal, right?
No, we're talking about like does it have the same value as like Lauren's active
Oh, right.
in terms of like how much HP you get from it? And I think it was like Lauren still more, but I guess Alan has the benefit of potentially giving you like some overhealth as well. So yeah. It's not passive, so I think it's okay. No, it's dog shit. Okay. So yeah. I myself am thinking somewhere in B tier. But
I think he's a very confused kit, but if you do use him as the S1 sidekick bot, it's actually like kind of doing stuff.
yeah. That's irrational anyways.
I guess.
Because like let's be real, like a sidekick is better than a lot of like some of these people's skills.
Yeah.
in B tier.
At least the action economy is a very good point. So
Okay, do
I will
I think
concede.
this guy is better than Ryusei? Tough to say.
Ryusei sucks ass.
Yeah, but this guy is like not.
It's not a joke. Yeah. Okay. The thing is that he's not. Ryusei is not bound to VP. Like with Josen, you cannot get attack up unless they're a VP gain.
You can give
That's
them
a
attack
hard
up.
restriction.
You can give them attack up if you use his psychic active that gives attack up.
I guess.
Because Ryusei, I don't really like the whole like. You're not using Ryusei's S3, so you're gonna be using his S2, which does the double action bullshit, double attack up thing, which is like not really good.
Yeah.
I think this guy's actually better than Ryusei, to be honest.
The thing about his like meme S1 cycle is that if you're going for like these 2-turn clears, he gets like 6 hits off on someone usually, because he's fishing a lot for like maybe Scar passive and aim is the thing.
Yeah, I think like multi-hit is actually like better value than
Oh, true.
Ryusei. Like
I guess like a budget Grigory passive holder. And that is a funny idea. Actually, I didn't think of that. So yeah, you can put him above. That's funny.
Alright. Looking at B tier and immediately finding not to defend Zenthak. Or just minus expanding.
Oh.
I mean, it is something that I actually tried before, where I use like Josen for budget options, and it's just like him fetching for Guguri and then using an attack up psychic active on like anniversary pot for big damage. It's funny. Okay, let's move on from this weirdo. We ranked Alan, we ranked Zenthak. Did we rank Flaham? We did. Okay. Yeah.
I think so. I think I said something about how we don't have him.
Yeah.
I think it's Valerie.
Valerie!
Yeah. Oh, Valerie! Yay!
I'll be brief so other people can weigh in, but I think he's like neat. It's just that I think he would feel a lot better if he had like an extra action somewhere. That's basically it.
He's probably the best
Okay.
budget tank in the game right now.
Yeah, that isn't like a DL. Well, I guess DL is damage mitigation, but Valerie is very fun.
And in some,
that-
in some cases, he's actually better than like Polaris Mask, just because his damage redirection isn't negated by like buff removal. It just kind of stays on the enemy until it goes away. So yeah, if you're running against like enemies who like have a shit ton of buff removal in their kit, Valerie ends up being very effective against them.
Yeah, the when appearing diversion is so nice for consistency, because you know exactly who they're gonna hit. And then his S2 inflicts diversion for 2 turns, which is very nice because that carries over. It's honestly so nice. I feel like they just intentionally made it so he could pair with Theo, because both of their things last 2 turns. So you can basically just like negate damage, and basically protect your team for 2 turns with not too much hassle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten surprising use out of his S3 for budget clears actually. Because it's just nice having like this quick heal. It's pretty simple. It's like a pretty basic effect, but for my budget teams, I've gotten shocking use out of it.
Yeah, I think by nature of like his build usually leaning towards proc rate, it means he can actually use like really useful passives like Grigori or Feign. And Feign feels really nice on him just because the counter means he gets to remove like some debuff stuff of him, but also like shreds blue bar and also adds to his own gauge.
Yeah.
The gauge isn't that impactful, but it is pretty easy to stack up. So it's just like a nice cherry on top, rather. But yeah, Milk is kind of right. It would be nice if he had like some other way to break the action economy for himself. Right now, it's just mostly like if you run Feign passive, he can sometimes do that. So yeah, anyways, I am thinking A+ tier.
Oh, definitely. It's like as like a budget option for your team, or like a cheap budget option for your team, or when you're starting off, he's very nice. He's very comfy to use. I think A+ tier, that's a pretty solid tier to put him in. Below, I think, like if you're comparing him to Theo, I think Theo is better for sustain. Like, because having Valerie on your team isn't like how do you describe it? It's not like he's not this powerhouse of a solo protector. He does good work, but I feel like if you really want to like lean more on the sustain side, you're gonna have to bring someone else.
I could see that, but there's also the argument of like he does have like offensive capabilities, which means that he leans better into like somewhat faster clearing if you have the invested teams for it. Whereas Theo is like, he can be a little awkward when you're trying to like use him outside of like raw survival setups. The goat, that's Unk. This guy's so cool. I agree. Oh, that's Pookie. So he only gets it. I didn't realize his S3 was so cheap. That's so nice. He's in that bundle of good 4 stars. Innate Diversion, so good. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they made his S3 5.5, which I think is like neat. They usually stick like solid numbers, but I guess they just wanted to be kind.
It's kind of sad seeing all the bottom A plus being the 4 stars, but Yohag's not invited to the party. He's the gatekeeper. It's okay.
Pretty much. What are your thoughts, Milk, on where we should put him?
I think over Bard is fine. Maybe under, I don't know. I haven't used like Valorant that much, to be honest. But Diversion is just like really nice to have. Like this is like a consistency thing because holy shit, the RNG in this game.
Yeah, Diversion's just really nice, and getting it on like multiple people too is insane. I would put him above Bart just because he does have some utility that's not really replaceable.
Yeah, I'm always like, at least whenever I use him, I'm just always thinking to myself, damn, it would be like so fucking good if his S3 allowed him to act again. If we had that, it would be like so good.
Well, guess what? We have Valentine Astosis into the game. So now you can use his S2 without using an action.
True.
Yeah, if he had like an extra action, I'd like love to put him higher, but I guess A+ is fine for a 4-star.
Yeah, for me, I think his place in Theo's is like a little interchangeable because I like to lean towards more offensive setups. But I think just using them together, they're pretty much like the defensive dream team.
So yeah, putting them together, that's like fine by me. It doesn't really above or below. I think this is fine.
Ooh, is it Nomen time? It's Nomen time.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's actually like really good as a 3-star, huh?
Yeah. I think I did the calcs yesterday of like whether or not he outdamaged Rudalex and like Viastosa setups, and he actually does outdamage him, which is funny to think about.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I think in that regard, I think he's just like immediately better than the Ness and Trio. Didn't you make that calc recently? His DPS is like really close to Rudalex. Yeah, he outdamages the Ness and Trio, basically.
That's actually very funny.
3-star Nesson, yeah. He is the lost Nesson brother.
For free?
Yeah, the free Nesson. Yeah, he is the other like view imposter GPS unit. So he does work with Josen. Is it worth letting in Josen though? Not really. I think he's just using just because like it's very convenient damage for welfare. If he wasn't a welfare, it would probably feel a lot worse. But honestly, he's pulling his weight, I think, and if you use him as like a main DPS.
Yeah. Let me see what I guess I could. I guess the kind of funny thing is that his S3, if you fulfilled the conditional, Or if there, I mean, if there's only one enemy, it's basically effect-wise, it's basically the same thing as Rudelix, which lore implications, because of lore implications and stuff, which I think is like a funny detail. But also that means his S3 his S3 goes from 5k to 10k, so you kind of have to keep that in mind if you because it's 5k by default, but if you beat the conditional, you spend an extra 5k, and you can't really go against that. So you have to make sure you don't get jump scared by the extra VP cost.
Yeah.
I guess I'm also thinking about his field, which is it's okay, but if you have a good team, you're probably not gonna want to have that on because there's a lot better field effects. Because Magic Circle is basically just MC Psychic for your whole party, which
guess
is nice.
The
But
idea is just that
yeah, better options.
It's a cope field basically. You can put it down without too much commitment, right?
Yeah.
And if the enemy has a field, it pretty much cancels it out. That's basically its own failure, though. That and the fact that it's just there for him to get his extra amp on himself.
Right. I do remember pointing that out when he released, and because he's basically, since he's a welfare, he's the only welfare with a field, and so he's kind of for niche strategies. He's basically just this budget field breaker. But sadly, we don't really get enemies with fields, which I think is a missed opportunity.
I'm saying, dude, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen when Isaribi SSS reruns.
That would actually be really interesting.
We're gonna get
I would see that.
A field on Goro, and it's just gonna be him being faster.
What if it's a field that gives him AoE damage aggro and taunt, and then he just has this invincibility passive or something?
Okay, calm down there, Satan. Unrelated, I like that his S3 animation looks like PK Fire from Earthbound. Oh, is it? I love the skill names.
Coin flipping.
Gambling. Also, I love his skill names. He rolls. He does, yeah. To his uncle. I didn't even realize. But yeah, I'm kind of content with putting him between Victom and Rudelix.
Between Victom? Yeah, that's a good place. Which is fun. It's a funny play. It's a funny thing putting both of them together.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. His artist is quickly becoming one of my favorites, so I hope he gets an alt or another unit soon. Yeah, Sacha's goated. Okay, we rated Totem already, so we're moving on to Antares.
Oh, sperm dude. I don't actually know how to rate this guy because I don't have him.
He's only good because his supports are good, to be honest. So, if you think about his best team right now, it's Christmas Monomasa, Halloween Nessun, Valentine Gaius, right? And that's a very stacked core. And you can probably wheelchair most people with that setup. It's just that Antares kind of makes the best use out of it. The main issue is that outside of that team, he has no horizontal investment, right? You cannot there cannot be a unit that releases now that outvalues those supports for him. You think about Geostosis, right? And Guidance, you can make him use his S2 now without wasting a turn. But you would be replacing Christmas Monomasa, who's your damage amp and multi-hit engine, or V Gaius, who's your view gen, and amp, or Halloween Nessun, who's your main source of follow-ups, right? So he basically already has his best team on lock right now, and that's kind of a good and bad thing, but because I think his potential right now is kind of capped. That makes sense. And he does do pretty good work with his best team, yeah. It's just it's just not really as good as Holly and Volp. And like Volp's like doing shit with like a bunch of 4-stars too, whereas Antares doesn't really have cope options.
Yeah. Is it funny? Is it funny to say that I've always thought of his kit as just like the definition of multi-hit slop? Like he doesn't really. I don't think he adds a lot. I don't think his kit is very unique. He just does things that you expect multi-hit units to do, and he does it good enough. But nothing really impresses me about this kit.
Yeah, no, because multi-hit has always been like good because of the supports, not because of the DPSs. Like he is the multi-hit payoff, but like he doesn't really push anything further with the archetype. It is just like, hey, now I have defensive utility in your team now. That's cool. Why are your eyes like that? Good question. He's Chilean. I mean, I guess. I hate this design, oh my god. Sperm dude. Where did the convo come from?
I guess
okay.
one thing is that like he might be VP expensive because he just automatically spends 3k on allies action or after allies actions, I guess. So you have to like keep that in mind. I think.
Did somebody ask about the sperm dude thing?
Yeah, hold on, I got it.
Sperm.
Yeah,
Cool.
look what's inside the rake.
You have to understand that like this guy is also like had all these like seed and like till the field shit in like his skill kit. That like Arch was like, how do I like make this not about sperm? And then you like look at the rake and it's like, oh, that's sperm. Because like the whole thing, like you read this shit and it's like, oh, he loves planting seeds and shit. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's why I hate that's why I chose Sprout, because I didn't want to be bombarded by seed jokes. But then official translation changed it back to seed, so I'm like, okay, well, there we go.
Yeah, blame Arch. Like the seed thing is actually part of the aesthetic of this guy, this sex offender character. Yeah. So, yeah, the English wiki like spared you all, I guess, but that's actually the intention, because of course it is.
Yeah. Liberal. Alright. Anyways, so I think he's like worse than LaH probably. But maybe better than you guys say.
Yeah. Well,
Because I think about like
worse than LaH.
which one I'd rather have in my account right now. I think I'd rather have LaH.
I agree with that.
I
think LaH is like more value just due to flexibility with the whole role-based thing. And he also has that like what is it? HP depletion team sort of thing.
Yeah. I think yeah, I agree. And my stance on that is that like what is it like? He just I think it is just like the flexibility. Antares is just like he just does one thing, or I guess no, he does things, but like it's all multi-hit stuff, and like yeah, sure, it's nice, but Vlaham has that 2+ more, so he gets that. That's why he gets the bump up.
But then Vlaham also has Scar.
Does anyone even own this guy? Has anyone done any clears with him? Yeah, I own him.
Honestly, yeah. Have I seen video? I don't think I've seen videos.
I've posted a few clears with him. They're kind of boring though. It's just Christmas Motomasa, Valentine Gaius, Halloween Nutsen. It's the same bullshit every HQ. There's no like variety with this guy's teams, you know?
Go to Hooli.
Alright. Let's move on. Okay, yeah, it is Hooly's time. Yo! Any Hooly fans in chat?
No. What do we say about Hooli?
I hate this dude because Life Wonders like loves to shill this dude in, like the demos, but like he's not that hot. I think the most interesting thing that people are gonna use him for is his boost passive, where like whenever you spend 5k view, you get like a boost to like the adjacent allies of Hooli. And like, to be honest, this boost is actually like a lot better than the 4-star passives that we've been talking about.
Yeah, no,
The
it's
problem
good.
though is that it's still like a one action buff. But like, you know, it's still better than like stuff like Ruden's plus 20%. Or like Gomron's Forged, right?
I guess it's like, I guess the point is that maybe you're supposed to amp up towards one nuke, but we've made it pretty clear for this whole tier list that one nuke, like one strong hit, isn't as good as multiple strong hits. Because of, like action economy, debuff, damage cap, stuff like that. So it's like it's not the most ideal thing.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
also
I
just
guess
kind of
you could
expensive.
also like, I guess, you know, it's like, because this guy is like representative of the view spend archetype, but even because, you know, if you look at his S1, it's some weird ass bullshit about consuming 10k view, right? You know, and then like his whole passive is about spending view for damage buffs. But it's still not good. And I think if I want to talk about this character, I want to point out that his propulsion field is actually like really shit because of the same thing that I was talking about earlier. Because like, first of all, like this propulsion field is like Flex but worse. Because Flex is like 30%, this is like 20% of their view. And it only like goes up to plus 1000. So realistically, this propulsion thing is like, it's okay. So first of all, it's 20% of your view. So if you have like a 3k view stat, that's like 600, 500, right? Okay, let's just say 500.
Yeah.
So if you have plus 500 to 4,000 attack, which is like easily what you can get with the DPS, that's like a 12.5% buff. So it's like, this is not good. This propulsion thing is an 11k view spend for like a 12.5% buff. It's very bad. And it's a field. So it's like, well, the S3 gets upgraded to 8.5k view. But like, this is like a really bad field. And I don't really know why you would ever use that field, to be honest. Like, I guess the extra view stat like kind of refunds it, you know, since you increase everybody's view, but I don't like the amps on this character. They're very weird.
Yeah,
They're very like 4-star taxi to me. Like they just got hit with that 4-star. Like, oh, you can't be that good, so let's just like tone it down or add some weird conditional to it or something.
Yeah, I think the point with this field is that you want it for the secondary effect of like buffing up everyone's base view stat, so they work better with like Flux and Barrier. The issue is that both of those statuses are still kind of garbage regardless, so it's not really doing a lot. And also the fact that, like, you know, base action economy, he's stuck using his S3 and then doing nothing after. And like, you don't have any chances to like extend the field either, right? So if it runs out,
Yeah.
you have
You just gotta
to
use it.
waste another
Yeah,
turn
you're out.
propping it up, which is very annoying. Does boost not apply to himself? Nope, it does not.
It's a what is it? Adjacent. He's basically like V Guys, but review, but also like worse
Garbage.
because it's only his thing. Yeah, his buff only asks for one action.
It's V guys, but shit.
Exactly.
Like if you like think about it, like sword dance, he doesn't get that shit, right? This thing you need like I don't know 6 boosts, like 1.3x.
It is
then,
very
like-
funny how like V Gaius with like his anti synergy was a better support for Percy Barrel than like Uli, who's like actually the Vugen shell thing. Okay.
Also, one thing is that what is it? Even if boost applied to himself, I don't know. Like, would it really matter? Like, I don't think that really matters, right? Or he wouldn't really use it. Like, I guess you have his
He
Echo
wouldn't-
Booster
he would-
skill, but like, do
He
you
would
really
not
want to
use
use
it
Echo Booster skill? You're spending 10k view on 3 hits
Okay, so
with
the
not a
problem-
good
the-
attack stat.
the problem is this attack stat. His attack stat is 1.2k, so like it's super fucking low. You cannot use like you should not be using this guy as a DPS. Like I'm pretty sure this Echo Booster is just so that you consume view.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but it's like it's so expensive though. That I think 10k actively hinders what your team can do. Like that's a good. This isn't like Josen's S1 only steals 5k, but Huli steals 10k, and that's like a lot. And you don't even get like a bonus action from it. You just steal 10k, and that's your action.
Yeah. So yeah, this character is bad, and I got him in like the permanent gacha recently, or like when rolling in the gacha recently. I was like, I don't want to spend my shit on this guy. This looks terrible. I mean, I feel like feel free to prove me wrong, but none of this like looks good. I guess his S2 is like attack down and VP gain. It's like 250% of his current view stat. His view stat is like it's probably gonna be like some 3k thing, you know, with the sidekick, but it's like 2.5 of that. Maybe that's like 8k or something.
It's just
I don't
Zuniaki
know, it's
active
just
most
like-
of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like it's not really that great. It's not good compared to like, you know, Summer Kowalski S2 thing.
Yeah. I used him an okayish amount with like decent investment, like no fan count, but like he's level 60 and shit. This S2 is like really underwhelming. You just wanna you should probably just use like Tsunyaki active most of the time, to be honest. Snatched Waste? Yeah, it's Enigma XP, your favorite. Huh? 1.2k, that's shit. Yeah, I'm saying. My boys, Hisaki and Worker are below mid. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Snatched BP, I'm clicking S1. I'm saying, dude. Okay, yeah. God, does any team really want him? I guess maybe Joe, if you were using.
It's kind of like, I guess.
If we're using his S3.
You use them for like H-Wolp and then spend like 50,000 views somehow, and then like he just reuses all the boosts. I don't fucking know.
Can't you just like put attack up on him?
Yeah, that's
Real?
why I'm like, I don't get this like charge thing. I guess you can like nuke is like whatever, but it's like it's literally like so much view you have to spend.
If you're using like any Rodin, I guess it's like you got to max it out. I think 10 charges, 5k. No, you need 50k.
50,000.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
That's
Uh-oh.
like a lot to be asking. Maybe if you had like the Annie Rudin who's being shielded by guidance, and then like you get to double tap that if you spend S2, which is not good because it doesn't activate twice. Yeah, it's not good.
Well, that's also assuming you have the view to spend for that too, which is like definitely overextending yourself.
Yeah, like at that point, just get anybody else, like a real passive.
I need Hisaki second ult to be good. He's so cute and I like how sassy he is. Maybe. The 4-star VP gain Slay, Josen, Noman, Huligor.
That's what the gacha demos are like.
Yeah. Saotome.
No, it's like
Saotome using his S3 for fucking Yohack block. And he just fucking Jobei Kokitaku just throws that shit away. Crazy.
Yeah. Lucky, stop stealing my budget teams. I'm trying to
did they put this guy on Turbak's demo? I feel like
he was on someone's demo in that event. I don't remember.
Like terrible. They keep putting this unit, and it's like, oh, this guy is not doing anything.
Can you use Reiki to spend lots of you at once, which is probably not worth it at all? You can. It's not worth it. No, but you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like, well, that's the equivalent of just bringing someone who has a high view cost for their skills without really thinking about synergy.
If you want,
like ideally you would spend view and kind of contribute to the archetype.
If you want to feel to work with Reiki, just fucking use Farden.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped Healy somewhere. Oh, there he is. Maybe I'll go there. Let's see here. How viable is Summer Yohack? He's in the upper half of S tier. Hovering around right now. Like, yeah. He's
Get Cooley away from him.
He's doing decently well. I have to hold on to this thing, otherwise I'll lose him. Just be more brave and click Cookin S3. Watch serious jump.
True.
Whenever I had Huli on demo, he felt awful, I'm not gonna lie. Also Dora.
Yeah, he just drags the demo down. He just makes it slower.
Yeah. Also Dora Sochi, let's pay for his skill tree instead. Yeah. Where do I put him?
I kind of actually want to say that he's like... This is crazy, but I actually want to say he's like better than Keylock, just because his passive is actually like
really
probably worth more than the Vertigo.
I mean,
but it could. But I guess the Vertigo lasts longer. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not.
It's just like
Boost is just too. Yeah, Boost is just too awkward to work around.
Because like 4 boosts is like kind of reasonable, right? It's like 20k view, but I guess if it's just one action, then no.
Base cookie usage sounds up my alley. Zelkus, no. Do not. Do not. Let me see. Where did I put Keylock? Alright.
He's in C tier.
I mean, he is a 4-star with an amp. That is something. And I guess view isn't the worst. Like
his view gain skill, I guess you can like rig it with fan count.
The thing about boost is that it doesn't go away until you actually spend the action turn. So like that's why Anniversary Barrel is like known as, as one of the better options for him, and because like he is like V guys, but intended to work better with that type of unit. I don't know. The answer is just that he doesn't do much outside of that. It's just like, here is a 13% damage amp on my field, and then my boost, it will exist to like bump your damage up a bit, even though, Miss Monomasa is like fucking mogging the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are clicking S2, that's crazy. Not after you worked so hard to make me teams, go. These generic emotes suck. Yeah, sorry. We have nails though? Yeah. Put a nail in the chat if you want to see our psychic tier list next week. Ooh.
Ooh.
Let's see here. What's a comparable account value to him right now?
Low? I don't know. I feel like he's so awkward to work with. I feel like for a new account,
I think it's a waste
like-
of resources.
yeah.
I mean,
Like I don't think he's that easy to use.
But like, it's more like he's just giving flex to everybody, huh?
Yeah.
I guess like for a new account, his S2 would just be the best thing to spam.
Okay. Let me think. So if a new player is asking if they should pick up Okitaka, Base, or Huli, what would you tell them?
Okitaka, easily. Because like that S1 is really nice for view gen plus whatever skill 1 you trigger. And then his S2 is just like a solid attack buff. S3 is like basic defense, which is a lot more value than whatever Huli gives. Because
How about
it's,
Zenita versus Huli?
I guess. Oh, that's a good question.
They're both view gen.
Yeah. Honestly, I think. Well, she like. I guess she could trigger Godron passive, which is technically more value than Huli's attack down.
Yeah, I guess that's like 6 stacks of boost, which is like 30k view you'd have to spend otherwise. Right?
Yeah, but boost is also like entirely passive. He doesn't really have to work to like give boost. It just kind of happens when you spend view. So in some ways, that's just like his own way of like working around his action economy.
I kind of don't want to see Huli over Pub, to be honest.
Okay. I think he's better than like Base Rudin, which is funny to say.
Oh, there he is. I can see it because aim is just kind of superfluous, and Base Rudin's passive is kind of worse. It's for 1 action, right? Holy shit! Never mind.
Yeah.
If there was more than 1 boost user, then he'd be higher. Yeah, basically. Alright. There he goes. Into B tier.
Higher than I expected, but...
Alright. We rated Turvac. It's Genji's time.
I don't have him, but he looks solid.
Yeah. He's like the only reason I'm pulling for I'm using my silver tickets instead of hoarding them. Also more Yasu, but I think Genji is like the one I'm more interested in.
I think he's like very neat. I think he has a good niche of having like the most guts like implementation in this game of like
yeah.
a unit. I'm not sure how that'll pay off just yet. Like if anybody's like really leveraged it.
Oh, actually, that is something I wanted to mention because I'm trying to remember. I think it was for Lantern, but I do recall someone actually using Genji for like a quick clear.
Really?
Maybe it was like 2 turns or 3, but it was like an enmity team, or it was either an enemy team or just like a team that just utilized Allen and stuff like that. But they did use Genji, and Genji was genuinely saving the unit. So there is like actually good use for Genji in that regard.
I think the thing that I don't like about this unit is that he's very strict in terms of team composition. And I don't have those like damage like core units. Like if you want Allen, you want like one of those like LaH or Yasu type person. But that's like asking kind of a lot, I think.
that's just kind of like the enmity archetype in general. They're very selfish. It's a very selfish archetype where you have to pull for all their core units.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't like that archetype, just because I don't have anybody from it. Like, it's not even the case of like having one person. It's just like I have zero people. I guess I have Gaisei, but you know, it's like I don't know how to lower his HP safely. You know.
I don't know. I think in most like Berserker team comps, he just gets mogged by Alan existing. And yeah, there is the case where it's like you're supposed to use them together, but if you have to pick one, it's just gonna be like Alan 24/7, right?
Yeah. It's like I do think Alan is better, but that doesn't mean I don't think Genji is like that much worse. It's just like worse Alan for your team. But I think it's pretty good to have both.
You could probably pop off if like you just had like some meteorite spamming HDQ. You know, like 4 weak AoEs every turn or some shit.
Maybe. But like his passive, his attack passive, that actually that lasts for 2 turns, so you don't need that much attack spam, really.
Yeah.
So like it can carry over to the next turn. So you just need to be hit 5 times within 2 turns. Which is pretty good.
Okay, I'll stop talking because I don't have this unit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like you did mention the guts thing, which I think like that's neat. I think it's kind of fun how they've never introduced revive in this game. Like enemies have revived for like gimmicks and whatever, but we as the player do not have access to any sort of revive. So this is kind of the closest we might get to it. Which is, you know, like, oh, Genji stops the unit from dying, but he takes 90% of the damage. Which I think like a fun gimmick. And then his S2, it has parry, which is I think that's nice. Oh, and then I forgot about his the weird thing, because he doesn't counter with skill 1 from his S2. He counters with a special skill 1, which grants barrier. And it's actually, I'm looking at its skill right now, and it's actually it scales off max HP, which that's better than the usual barrier, which is like skills off view stat. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
I don't know. It's kind of all gimmicks, to be honest. Like the parry and the guts thing. They're neat in concept, but they never fucking go off in practice. So he's just gonna exist for the damage redirect and like the 2 amps, which is nice, just not as valuable as other supports.
Oh yeah, I still think he's under Holland.
Yeah, same. Because it's like Alan gets his damage amp for free. Genji has 2 amps, which is really good. But the thing is that is the amp that scales off HP is tied to his safety harness status, which means you have to spend 8k view to unlock it, essentially.
I mean, not even that. Yeah. But like Alan has 3 amps, so it's automatically better. 4 if you include the fact that he can proc Ganron passive too. So he's just a lot more interactive. If the HEQ gets more dangerous and the damage to the output, does he get upscale? Yes, but so does Alan, so.
Yeah.
Genji's like a pocket support, Alan you can support too.
Genji's kind of like, if you're gonna run an Alan team and you have Genji, you can just bring this unit as well.
Yeah, he is like a nice
that's what I think.
But not nearly as required as the other teammates. I still believe he's in the A+ tier. But what do you two think?
Really, I was thinking S, honestly, because I don't think he's that. I think he's worse than Alan, but I don't think he's like a tier drop off worse.
No, I don't think he's better than Festival Ruden.
Yeah, I think like Vessel Runen has like a solid niche. I think I would rather have Genji over Isaribi though. Isaribi is just kind of useless. But then it's kind of apples to oranges, huh? Do I want him or Stereo? I think I'd take Stereo. I think maybe over F Goro at least. I don't know.
Lucky's saying maybe.
Yeah, above F Goro, I think that's better. Yeah.
Summer
Above.
Vic Tom has like a free damage buff, but I think like this guy has better value. Like you literally have 2 to be like 2 amps.
What about under stereo actually?
Yeah, I still said under stereo because I think stereo's follow-up action is still like value.
Yeah, that's I was thinking about that.
And Scar, if you don't want to gamble with sidekick bullshit. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So like
Alright.
at least between those 2.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. We got 4 people left. Next up
Boy.
is Pardon.
I want to speak for him because I used them in my stall clear, and that was very informative about how to use him. So like, there's a couple of things I want to point out about his kit. So you have his S3 field, which is very nice, but you have to keep in mind that so his field gives you an amp. He gives you a 5% amp if you give speed up to that ally. If you give speed up to an ally, but the thing is that on his amp if you don't have his field up, he grant the way his order the status order works is that he grants speed up to all allies first and then puts up his field, which means you don't get the amp up from that first speed up. You only get the amp up from subsequent speed ups, which means you will have to rely on external sources of speed up to bump up that amp. And then aside from that, I feel like he has a very comfy action economy where you just spam S2 and then you loop into S3. And you have to keep in mind that his S2 does not give you post-action view. So like it's a flat 5k down, or less if you have Engrave on, but it's more expensive than it looks because of how it feels more expensive, honestly, because it doesn't grant you a view after acting. So you do have to really keep that in mind when you're using him. Just kind of make sure you don't dip under 9k, so you can, because you still need you should be casting his S3 constantly, because I feel like that's just really ideal. Because it just grants speed up to all allies plus 9k view. That's very comfy. And his S2, that's very it's pretty RNG, but it's like, I think it's a safe RNG. It doesn't really screw you over. And the thing is that his resident statuses aren't buffs, and they work differently from other statuses where their count only decreases when their effect activates. So if you have like the fairy one, which is like, at the start of action, if you have a debuff, remove it. If you don't have a debuff, that status just stays on the unit forever until the effect activates. And since Barden's S2 prioritizes resident statuses that the ally does not have, essentially what that means is that his S2 becomes a 50-50, right? Like if you have fairy on it and you don't get debuffs, that fairy status is staying on, which means his S2 will only prioritize bird or butterfly, which is pretty solid effects, right? Like you're either getting attack up or view on start of action. So yeah, it's a pretty solid skill. It's just kind of, and good action economy and stuff. You just have to keep your VP in mind. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Why the stream back for like 2 seconds? I have 2 scenes in OBS, and I misclicked one of them, so that's probably why. Anyway, Sarge, that was a lot for this unit. I think the most impactful S2 buff is like probably Butterfly in most cases, just because of how view hungry most of the setups are. And that means that if he gives himself Butterfly, he gets to make use out of the view effect twice. So he can use his S2 again and then immediately follow that up with S3. That is his usual routine in like these low cost and also low turn clears, where you kind of gamble for Butterfly and then you pop off with the field effect, which is actually pretty good field too. It's like a hefty damage boost depending on the speed difference and also speed up. And it can like outvalue like Valentine Geist's field attack bonus rather quickly if you know how to stack your speed differences. For teams, he doesn't really. Okay, so he has like the obvious Halloween Volt team, right? But he also has like teams where you can support what is it? Base Reiki after his heal tree. And he's not the worst at supporting V-Rexer. The issue is just that, you know, V-Rexer isn't really that great of a DPS anyways. He'd rather support people who can do more damage. But yeah, for a 4-star support, he's actually, like, quite good. It is just annoying that you do have to kind of gamble for the effect that you want on his SEO. Speed units don't really exist, so a good 4-star trying to make it more accessible is really nice. Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Milk, what do you think?
I don't have this unit, so unfortunately I can't use them. Yeah, they look cool though. I wish they had like a what was it? Bigger like animation presence at the end of their event, but it's basically the Vulpecula show.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of fitting for how they're in the meta as just being in the Vulpecula show.
The only bad bit is that he screams at the start of the fight. Yeah, he's very loud.
Right, yeah.
You don't like this loud ass like screaming, especially when he dies or something. Or was it when he gets hit? I forget.
I think it's when he gets hit.
Yeah. But yeah, they seem cool. They seem like a good 4-star pickup, because if you get this guy, you can probably just start doing bullshit with H-Vulp if you can find them on support.
Yeah.
Mine are all bad for some reason, but yeah, for other people it should be no problem.
How many people will get with Pokemon Aoii? Probably not too many unless they care about meta. As a Santetsu-less person, should I use Freedom with H-Vulp, or should I just get Santetsu off support, or use both? Santetsu feels really nice with Vulp just because you mitigate a lot of RNG needed. You have a crit effect, and it's better if you have your own, just because you can outfit him with like whatever little that you want, including the psychic active. Because most Santetsus probably won't have like Farden active on their support setup, which is what you probably want with your Halloween Vulp. But like Farden is like not too behind in terms of like being a Halloween Vulp pocket. It's just that Santetsu is just a bit better in terms of consistency.
I think the thing with like Santetsu is that since he's like very flexible for like how you like customize him, You know, it's like it's actually very annoying. It's actually going to be very annoying if you try to borrow them from support because there's going to be like something that you need, and then you're just going to have to like coordinate with the other person if you actually know them. And then like, and if you just like try to borrow one, it's going to be like annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I think in general, it's like I think Barden is like, well, despite having a very good kit, I think he's more likely to be replaced if in like ideal teams. So having Suntetsu is just like a lot better.
Oh right. Since this S2 has the recast thing, did he get affected by the Viastosis guidance change?
Probably not. It's like it's just a bonus action.
Oh, that's funny then. Let's see here. As a Tetsu-less, Barden-less, Grigori Psychic-less player, who should I be using Halloween Volt with? Base Reiki probably, and like
Yeah.
Bardonzo. Yeah. Anniversary Barrel. How much am I losing by not getting Setsu's free turn economy with his S1? I guess it depends on like what other sources of defense or speed down you have, right?
Yeah.
If
like,
you
it's just so nice with Santetsu because you just get to act again.
If you borrow like Bardonzo, it's probably not too bad. And I guess you could also use like Viastosis S1 if you wanted to. But it is like a noticeable like loss for quality of life if you don't run into Tetsu with them. So I am still thinking like A+2 for Farden. I am not using Viastosis S1. That is a crime. Hey, I do it for farming, alright? It works. Not for H-Wolf though. But yeah, A+ tier. Any objections?
No, that's a good place for Farden. I think by naturally being like an H-Wolf support and like the only like the 4-star field support, I think that does land him pretty well into A+, like mid A+.
Yeah.
Like maybe comparable to Reiki. Like how would you compare that?
Oh my god, let's end the stream. Let's move on from this dude.
We have to give our ratings for him.
Okay, I think I'm looking at Reiki. I want to put him like a right around, right? Does that feel right?
Sure. Do you agree, Mel?
All right.
Sure.
Okay. Who's next? Denabora. Looks like.
Boring.
The best unit, the best unit on my roster that I literally cannot use. The thing is, I really like his kit, design-wise. I still think, despite how limited it is, I still really like the idea of using HP healed as a resource. So even though it's like hard to team build around right now, I still like it for what it is.
I think this unit is kind of like a potential man unit, where it's like you have to be like, oh, there's gonna be some cracked ass heal unit in the future, you know, who's like gonna tap into his S3, the cracked ass S1. But then it like kind of supposes that this cracked ass S1 supposedly exists, you know? And it's actually kind of like hard to think about what you would even want with that S1, like that doesn't exist already, you know? And I think the main thing that screws this unit over is damage caps. Because at the end of the day, even though they're doing all this like S2 stuff, they really only can do like an S3 or like an S1. like after their thing. So they can't really push for damage in like how other like top tier DBS do, where they're just like attacking a bajillion times per turn. I will give it to Denebra that at least like the upgrade lasts even for follow-up action. So if you like trigger like Denebra's S1, it's gonna be the upgraded one.
Mhm.
But I think like the fact that Denebra can't like naturally act like push damage outside of her action is like probably the main thing holding them back in terms of the meta anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Also,
pretty much agree.
to add, yeah, I wanted to add to Lucky's comment in chat. I don't know why he has explosion in his kit. Like, 2 stacks of his explosion is not enough to. It's not notable enough to beat any damage cap. So I guess it's just there for a little extra damage. But if you ask me why, I genuinely don't know, because I don't think that's like its actual purpose.
It's a lore thing because he's unlucky. So the explosion is like the enemies slipping up and damaging themselves. There you go.
Maybe.
Yeah, pretty much everything that Milk said. Also the fact that like the follow-up thing on his S3, well, it can deplete blue bars. It won't like trigger like the full weakness effects until after he attacks, which is big
I had to make
annoying.
a stance because of that. It was so fucking annoying. I had like my whole chain of heal units, and the bar was depleted, right? Because of that. And then like that shit happened after Denebra did his whole fucking nuke. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? It was so goddamn annoying.
Yeah. He is a very safe unit. You build around healing. He has defense up, spam. He's kind of technical in a way. So he does reward like good game knowledge. The payoff isn't great though, just because he does get hard countered by damage caps, but also in the sense that like his team options are like very limited. And even within those team options, the payoff is just not that great. The magic effect is crazy. I think once he gets on the shell, he'll be really comfortable and would probably be the go-to recommendation for new players instead of APUB. Is there some kind of reason you would want 3 units to S1? I'm skimming through and these all look not very useful. The main ones are like Bard Donzo, because Dizzy or Vertigo is kind of like one of the rare debuffs to apply, and the view is nice. It also will like self-generate some harmonics for him. And the other was just like Summer Lilac, just because you roll for the defense down, which will increase his damage. And also just because Lilac is like his main like engine for healing, rather, just because he gets a free S2.
I want to point out that I remember.
Oh,
Do you remember his demo? Because like that was so. The demo, it was so like the most. What's the right word to say it? Because like it was so slow, I guess. Not slow, but just like unimpressive. Yeah, there we go. His the heal follow-up effect that they tried to showcase in the demo was so unaffected because they had like Pub, Persh, I think, and then Grigory. And like Grigory was the only one that could actually do something because he can roll for 50% defense down. Pub and Kirsch are just there, or maybe it was Lauren, I forgot. But that was like the most unimpressive 3-unit
I think it was
I saw.
due to like a fat heal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's like even more whatever.
But I mean, like that's kind of just how it is. It's like also Grigori is actually a 70% def down.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's just kind of the problem with this unit is that like heal units are just kind of shitty, other than Bar Donzo, and like there's like this weird potential, man, thing, as I said. Like, we just need a good heal unit that's meta and has a really good S1. We don't know what that really good S1 looks like. That needs to be triggered.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like, and we can't really even think of what this really good S1 is supposed to look like.
Your Dean is ready. 今日
When
は
I
ね
think about rating,
ス
I
ペ
think
シャ
like
ル
the
な
most
卵を作って
obvious
あげ
point
た
of
んだわ
comparison for me is like
Yes
Anniversary Pub and like
Yeah,
Exio in terms of like big and nuke, you know?
Yeah.
But I think like at least Denebra has like an AoE S1 if you upgrade it enough.
Right. At least above Exio, because it's not too hard to achieve.
Yeah, he should be above either of them.
Above who?
Exio at least.
Yeah.
Exio and Annie Pub, in my opinion.
I said before, but he's basically just anniversary pop up with bigger numbers.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think it's like maybe around the bottom of A+ tier. In my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because
That's
he's
it.
like usable, and like I guess he can like do heal bullshit, but I'm not impressed with this guy.
Let's see here. What's a comparable account value for him? In A+ tier. Like maybe Summer Lilac.
I'd put him under Summer Lilac. I think Summer Lilac actually like makes you at least do that sustain bullshit that gets you your 70,000 point clear.
Put
Oh
him
my
next
God,
to
you got
Lilac
the
and
video.
Partners. If Viastos' guidance wasn't affected this guy, he could have had more potential as potential man. Yeah. He did get pretty big nerfs by not having the bonus action anymore. That's like a lot of damage
Honestly,
lost.
Okay, to be honest, I will actually kind of. Well, actually, I guess what's his base? Because it's kind of like. I guess
I mean,
so.
it was like, okay. I guess like the extra action could have like allowed him to do a sidekick. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. And because it's like he resets his stage after he casts his S3, so it's not like you can reach. It's not like you're getting 2 attacks of the 400% damage.
Well, his S3 is still like base 300%.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's a. Yeah,
It's
that's
still,
what I was
like-
kind of like. Oh.
Yeah, it's still bigger than Pubs, right?
Yeah. Pubs is like 270.
Yeah,
So double casting that is pretty nice, actually.
because like it's still like 7k view actually, right? It's actually like
Mhm.
kind of cheapish. The problem is just that his S2 is so fucking expensive if you don't run like MC Sidekick.
Wait, chat. I just got Gaisei. It's from a random poll. Oh,
Huh?
congrats. Moe Fluff got Gaisei from a poll.
Oh, congrats! Yeah.
Well, I hope you wanted him.
How did that happen?
It's a limited banner, isn't it?
Yeah,
With like
it's
Gaisei,
the Nessun banner.
Beyondstar.
Oh, I see. I was like, isn't that dude limited? And then it's like, oh, there's that shill banner. Okay, that explains it.
Yeah. Now I have half the on banner 5 stars, Sadayoshi, Viastosis, Taika, and base Beyondstar. Nice.
Wow.
Alright. Are we done with Daredevil right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's random poll. Sad. Alright. Rostaban.
I use this unit actually like a decent amount since I was like testing like Stereo and Alchiba. I think he's like a little awkward to be honest. In the sense that his battle cry, well, it's good. As like a passive, like damage amp. It's really good for a 4-star, right? Because combo's easy to get if you're running a combo team. And like, you know, we've been talking about all these like 20% boost bullshit earlier this stream, you know? That this thing where it's like, okay, you get damage to combo. This is ripped straight from LaH. Is like actually pretty good for a 4-star, even if you need to cast like this S3 battle cry thing. I think the problem with this unit though is that they're kind of like a little underwhelming in terms of like how they push damage, since it's just like essentially just like 1 damage move per turn. But it is just like also just a 4-star. So like maybe I'm just being too greedy when like, you know, when all the DPS 5-star DPS have their extra action nonsense. But yeah.
I think that since he's a 5-star, he is kind of saved by having other that's not just being a DPS. Most 4-star DPS kind of get gammed by the fact that they just do damage and nothing else, like Senthak and kind of Bagel. So
yeah, he's like infinitely better than all of these like 4-star damage amps that we've been talking about, and like the DPSs as well. It's just that I'm like a little greedy in the sense of like, kind of just doing nothing. When you do battle cry, you know, you do it, and then you just get a passive effect that a 5-star has.
Oh, I remember. So I never tested this out, but I remember someone saying it, maybe in JP chat or like the forum or something, or like, you know, I believe, his F3 attack, right? I believe they said that those attacks actually are not affected by aim. Like it actually really does prioritize enemies in descending order of attack. So, you know, like they're saying that like you can't redirect that with aim or something.
That's really not the biggest deal to me. I don't really run this unit for the actual attacks, to be honest. I just run it for the LaH passive. Just rip straight out from the 4-star. Yeah. I think this unit is pretty good in what they do, though, just because they have that LaH passive, and the speed down to all enemies is like nice to set up that big chain.
Yeah, it is quite nice.
So yeah, good 4-star. I just like feel a little awkward, just like having to do this like 8k view skill to tap into a damage amp, basically.
Yeah, I think my main thing about it, my main complaint is just that he doesn't really have any ways to like gain combo reliably other than use his S1. And like it's like decent if you're running let's say Halloween Nessun with them, but at the same time you probably have better pocket options than Rasubon if you're running Halloween Nessun. The other thing is that it would be really nice if you were able to like recast his S3 more often without like having to constantly wait. So, you know, maybe once we get a unit that can like make people use their S3s, that's not Vizu Hail, he might be a lot better, but for now he's just kind of like worst or like but actually good.
Yeah, I think this is like infinitely preferable to like, you know, this boost bullshit and like Orbiter just stealing, but like, you know, not really doing anything. This battle cry is definitely not a field, right? Because it's just a grid thing.
It's not a field now.
So that's like kind of interesting because, you know, they have like Farden, who, you know, had a damage boost, but it was like tied to the field, so there's like a little bit of fighting. But this guy is like field agnostic, which is interesting.
Yeah, that just means they're setting up for a combo field in the future.
You can run Rostodon with them. Awesome. And Lilac. Wow.
Do
Alright.
Rostodon and Lilac stack? I actually haven't tried
No.
that.
They don't
The
stack.
combo game, no.
They don't have combo gain.
No, the damage passive.
Oh, the damage. Actually, maybe. Let me check
It's-
that. Hold on. I'm gonna check the wiki.
They're not the same, like, in terms of, like, ramp, though, right? It's because his is a 20 combo, or 20%, and Lilac's is like 25, I think.
Right. I don't think I tested that actually. So,
So does that mean they actually stack?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they stack. It'd be weird if they didn't.
it's. I think I think the JP wiki is implying that they stack. Yeah.
That's interesting. So like you could probably just like run this Lilac, probably Summer Alpheka, and then some other combo gen unit, either like Stereo or if you want to gamble Alchiba.
Actually, is it? Actually, you know what? No. Take that back. I'm not gonna. I won't. I actually don't know if they're implying if it stacks. You can put like. Put a pin in that.
We'll
and
just see later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. This guy is low-key really hot for a human.
Yeah. No, he was definitely like one of the hottest Hide unit we have. Compared to like in both compared to Usamo too.
Do you
Yeah.
think you would want to see his like hat removed though?
Could be
Like his
cute.
helmet, bandana. I don't think we know what he looks like underneath, right?
We don't. No.
We see a bit of it when he's like damaged, I think, but that's about it. I'm reading Geisy's kit, and why the fuck does he have 6 different effect names? Word suit best unit. It's a lot simpler in practice. It's just like S1 marks people, and then you apply Scar, and then like if you use S2, it does more damage if they're debuffed, and then he follows up with another attack if they have the mark from S1. And it's S3 like buffs is S1. That's about it. Damn, you guys are still alive? Yeah, we're wrapping up soon. A combo field bot paired with the passive bots and self. How excited. How exciting. He's for sure receding early. Maybe. That tells me they haven't gotten H-Volp. So yeah, where do we put this guy anyways?
That's a.
I
It
think
would
he
be,
should,
it
he
would
should
be
at least
funny if
be,
you put him over Lilac.
he should at least be an A tier, at least, bare minimum.
Yeah.
I kind of think at least under Bart. 'Cause,
Under
like,
Bart. Oh.
like at least under Bart, because like Bart is actually like contributing combo gen. This guy like has the damage passive, but
Right. 20, actually, that is a good point. 20 is a lot and not really something you can do naturally, so I think you will have to add some combo gen to your team.
because it is a good like passive, right? But like you need to build around it.
Yeah, it's like, is Rostodon more or less flexible than Bart? And I think Bart is more flexible, has more flexibility in teams, in what teams you can go to compared to Rostodon. So yeah.
I think
That's a
Rostodon's still
good point.
good since you can like get damage as well. But I think like, yeah, I think he's at least under Bart in terms of like combo teams. Okay, if I wanted to choose between the two, if I was running a combo team, I'd choose Bart.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I choose Rostodon actually.
Damn. You gotta scale the Summer Alpha hits more.
Well, I don't know. It's like if you're running something like Tracer Algebra for the S2 combo engine, it's like you don't really need Bart, right?
Yeah.
it's a lot easier for you to stack that battle cry passive. Also the fact that he's kind of built to like capitalize off of like this newer generation of combo units, where like Algebra has this weird ass after action you get an attack buff, and then that means that when Rosapan uses S3, he can get buffed by Algebra's attack buff when he uses his like pre-enemy attack skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get it though. Bard's probably more useful for most people when it comes to combo setups.
Yeah. Like to me it's like the value of like Frostbond is kind of delayed. Well, I mean, like, you know, he gets his passive. It's just that it just like feels like he's not really doing anything, even though he's doing stuff behind the scenes.
Mhm.
But it's like Bart just like shreds a blue bar immediately. I don't know. I could see him being over Bart though if like the damage tilts in his favor.
Yeah, I just think that it's like he has better amps, right?
Yeah.
And also he does more damage in general. So, but I think Bart has better utility usually, in the sense that like she applies a shit ton of debuffs.
Yeah.
So it could go either way, in my opinion.
I'm convinced he can be over Bart. Because I'm thinking of like how I use like Alchiba, and like he's probably gonna be doing all the Bart shit anyways.
Right. Right.
With like aim and scar. So it's like not that big of a deal. And also I think like some of the summer alphecas for some reason run those things anyways. Not that I think it's good, but you know, their role's kind of redundant.
Right. What say you, Arch?
I think that's fine. I don't really have much to add.
Okay. Using this in the upcoming psychic video to tell people what to do at Aoii. Can't wait. Is your name not pronounced Barta? Actually, it's pronounced Barney. Make Bart and respond to rock paper scissors for their post spot.
Yeah.
Good idea actually. All right, last unit to rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Moriyasu.
Wow.
He's kind of strange to me. In the sense that I think he can be good. But I think, like, no one really used him this last sim. And he was, like, kind of cucked due to the boss mechanic, too. Multi-hit. But then, like, the sim also, like, did a team-wide piercing damage. Which, like, should have kind of showed him a little, but it really didn't.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like he has a very simple kit, but it doesn't really impress me because it feels like it doesn't really go all the way. Like you can use his S2 for free and it does piercing damage, but it's only 15%, so it's not that much. And you can't cast it twice in a row because it changes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it changes for 2 turns. So you have to wait until the turn for, you know, like after you cast it, on the next turn, it's still changed, so you can't do piercing damage until the turn after that. So there is some weight to it. There is like a period of time where you just can't, you can't like do the thing, where you can't like do piercing damage to help lower your allies' HP. So that way he's just kind of limited, right? And 15%'s not that much, especially if like you don't have like say Genji on your team and you don't have any way of reliably having enemies attack that unit. So in terms of like enmity teams where you want to drag your allies' HP down, it's not that much of a contribution.
Yeah, he seems better suited to complement people who do that, actually, like using him with Vaham. Because Vaham, like, deletes his own HP rather quickly. This unit kind of got cucked by the guidance changes, right? With Biostosis.
It's
Yeah.
not an action. You used to be able to do a double action to do the S2.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't personally tested, but the wiki says on own action, so I think he's gonna be, you know, he's not gonna be one of those exceptions like Stereo or H-Volp.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he has enough like utility or damage to like reach the A+ tier. Like he can do good damage with his S3, right? The issue is just that like kind of similar to Dinabor, if he commits to being a main DPS, he kind of struggles a bit with damage caps. Not too badly, because he has like the free S2 thing. But it is like noticeable that he's probably not the best option for a main carry.
I think he's also just a little weird in the sense of like, for DPS, you almost like generally like try to run Exio sidekick, and you can't really do that here since you like want to be doing this S2 thing, right? I mean, maybe it's like fine in practice. I don't have him, but it's like he's actually like kind of awkward to use. Well, having a simple kit, it's awkward to like try to like optimize damage out of. I mean, I do think that him having Scar and Vertigo in his kit is nice, but he's like really weird to optimize, I think. And then he has like if you're like if you have to like run Alan and Genji, it's like asking a lot too.
Yeah, I think he's like one of those plug and play units for newer accounts where it's like you're playing around this newer archetype, but like he's kind of simple to use, and he's like he can provide good results, just not as much as like other DPS, you know.
Yeah.
I will say though that it is kind of nice for him to like, you know, be pushing damage when your team is getting ratioed by a boss, but I don't think I've seen him like live to like full potential yet. There's like nobody doing some cracked ass Moriyasu team compared to, you know, some of the other meta units we've been seeing. So he's definitely like not in A+ tier even.
You don't think he's in A+ tier?
I don't think so. It's like
I'm not sure.
he's like kind of a shitty DPS, right?
We did put Denabor in.
He's kind of whatever. I guess my thing is that like in terms of all the enmity units, I think he's just kind of like the worst, or like the least, the one I want least in my account. Like I think the order is Alan, Genji, and then Moriyasu. Personally.
Wow, no Vlaham.
Well, I guess. Well, Vlaham's mainly just like selfish, right? Like he has his crit, but he doesn't. Oh wait, is that why? Oh, you know what? I just realized. You know that Astar team I sent?
Yeah.
They have Vlaham there just for his crit, which is why the rest of the teammates have Yoshiori, so that they can drop his HP on Astar, and so he can get the free crit on his attacks. I just realized that. Yeah.
I see.
Because I was just about to say that Vlaham doesn't really like work that well as like a support where you just slot him in for the crit, but that Barusen literally just proved my point wrong. So yeah.
That's kind of a meme though, like triple Yoshiari passive. Okay, whatever.
If it works, it
Um,
works.
I'm actually convinced though. Fuck Lilac. Rate Moriyasu higher.
Oh.
Well,
I don't
Uh,
like base Lilac.
I don't know if he has more
I mean,
accountability than
same, but like,
Moriyasu.
wow.
That's the thing, though. Mr. Dead Goro can kill his units faster. Arch, they're beating your ass in the private retreats.
Oh,
Haunts? That's because nobody is pulling on that ass banner. Holy, the worst laid bait ever.
I tried. I got fucking Quad Naruhito or some shit. I think it was 4 actually. Yeah.
Did you not have him before you pulled on the banner? I thought you had him.
I had him, but he's now at 81, so that's 4.
Wah! Ew! Yeah, I agree. Is this a
Also
situation
80,
of...
actually, but yeah.
Is this a situation of he's hired because Enmity has cracked supports? Kind
Um,
of. I think it's just him working really well with Vlaham and Alland.
yeah.
I think like his status effects are kind of good too. But yeah,
Scar and Vertigo?
I guess
they're-
Vlaham already has Scar though, so it's whatever.
Yeah, so Mornios is just kind of like stacking the Scar faster, which is a nice quality of life.
Because it is like 3 hits, you know.
Mm-hmm. Where do we put him? Where do we put him?
It's like, because I didn't mention it before, but I do think he's, in terms of like the enmity support, the trio, I think he's worse than Genji. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can still put him above Lilac, but he has to be. But in that case, he would have to be between Lilac and Genji.
Is he really
I don't
better
like-
than? Is he better than Taika?
I just don't like how. I just don't like how like Lilac has like all these bum ass skills.
Yeah, I mean Moriyasu can do
Useful
stuff. That's the
skills.
thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. But he just doesn't have a good economy.
Okay, wait. I saw
Mhm.
Summer Victom. Okay, I'm convinced he's better. Better than F Goro? Question mark.
No, I think F Core is like
No.
very easy pick up and play.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like Moriyasu, you can only, because like the whole like limiting his S2 thing, that is an actual limit. Like it kind of prevents him from doing the thing he does, but not as effectively. So I think Goro is more spammable in that way.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, I think that's it. That was the last unit we could rate. Well, yeah, that's it for the tier list. This is this is our library hero. Damn, only 6 Begottens. That's crazy. Hey, it's a pretty high bar to get in there. It's a VIP club. They're the ones holding up the entire list. Don't forget it. These are our front line. Alright. Yeah, I'll probably post this tier list sometime this weekend. Y'all really like the heroes. Hello, next gen. Guys, you missed Marcius. Oh, true. We need to rate Marcius, guys. Yay.
Can we recommend D tier for that outfit?
What are you saying? His outfit's pug. He has the shower
What
curtain.
outfit? He's not
Yeah.
wearing anything.
He's got
What
the
is there to rate?
shower curtain fit. You just don't get it. Is this shit on the Wiki yet?
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I think maybe. I mean, it's in the game now, so it should be.
No, I'm only seeing a psychic shit.
Oh, damn, I guess it's not there. The wiki is sparing us.
I'm so sad. How could they do this to us? He's in D. Holy shit, that was a lot. Dude, the fit is so ass. It's never been so ass. We got a few Marcia's haters in chat. How can he have so many of them? I'll just leave it at Spurgall for a bit. Yeah, that was a lot. Alright. Are you guys content with this tier list? Is there anyone we need to reevaluate before we send it off?
No.
No,
Okay.
I'm fine. I just
Burgold important? I agree. Oh yeah, this dragon dude. I remember seeing him a long time ago and people were clamoring about it. I forgot about him completely. How could you? He's hot. Look at him.
yeah, it's a Beckley's artist.
Well, I don't know if Zelgus cares about some Paxley stuff.
Oh,
He's got what we call a bad taste in the business. Alright, anyways. Thank you everyone for joining us for these streams. Despite this being the end of our hero ratings, we'll probably think of some new ideas for upcoming streams. Might be the high kick ratings, probably won't be, but yeah. In any case, thank you for watching. We'll see you again sometime. Goodbye. Infinite content glitch.